Peace. This episode 115. Let me go check and see if YouTube working. Yep, there we go. It's working good. Let me hit Twitter. Let people know that the show is live. Then we can start talking. What's going on here? It's taking forever to load. All right, we got it. All right, let me see. Yeah, when y'all come in here and y'all shadow watch, please hit the like button, the share button, and subscribe. No, you ain't got to come on the show just because you subscribe or something like that. No, just look out for it, brother, so I could get more, so I could get more noticed, and people alike minds. Lamont Davis, what's up? You the first one in here. Appreciate you popping in. Yeah, if y'all, share it. This whole podcast is about people that have ideas what they want to see in a boxing game. We can even talk boxing talk and stuff like that. But this podcast is for, people that want boxing to be represented correctly. And some of us want it deep. You want a deep experience, you know. Yes, you got some people that they just like online competitive mode, but then you got other people that like the offline career modes and all the potential that the offline can have. Even the online, it should be an online career mode. Online career mode will be great. I'll probably start playing online just for that. But online career mode is something that can be done. That's one of the things that I was talking about yesterday. If any developer wants to debate me about what can be implemented in a video game, I'm right here. We could debate, and I could prove that everything that I say should be in a boxing video game can be. And I hate that fans. It's the fans that don't really know anything, and they be the one that argue the loudest. I could bring proof, and they still gonna say, "Nah, you don't know what you're talking about." Because if you could do it, you will make a game. If I was rich, I definitely would be making a game. If I could get the funding, I definitely would make a game. But since I'm also a fan of boxing and getting a game made correctly, I'm gonna keep talking. Let me see. Try to wait till at least about two more people get in here. Lamont Davis. I'm trying to because I was gonna read off my blog and I was gonna read something else that interests me. Oh yeah, man. That joke was making me mad. The thing that be getting me mad is people say certain things because they know you can't touch them. He like making his job to try to attack me. I'm like, yo, you serious? It's other things to be worrying about. You worrying about men. We all have our opinions, and that's okay. We all want a game. He just loved the game the way it is, and he hate when people say something to try to fix the game or make the game better. I was like, yo, this Joker crazy. I had to block that Joker. I try not to block nobody, but I had to block that Joker. Yeah, he's like being very disrespectful. Let me see. It might be me and you today, Lamont Davis. I'm gonna give it about a. Let me see. Oh, we still kind of early. I'm gonna give it about 6 more minutes, but yeah, the guys in the Discord, they're like about accepting things and not saying anything. The developers gonna figure out how to make a boxing game. They know what they do. That's what they used to say, and it was funny to me because you telling somebody that actually box to be quiet, and the developers know what they doing. They don't need your input. I boxed on, as far as amateur, like close to a high level in amateur. I was a decorated amateur, and I boxed a lot of pros. Stuff like that be making irritating. But when you do say that to people, they say, "Oh, you bragging about your so-called boxing career. You ain't do nothing with no." But I boxed. That's the whole thing. People be like, I'm like, yo, if you jealous, join a gym. My experience, that I hold on to my experience and the people I was connected to when I boxed. So I hold on to that. I shouldn't be like it never happened just for your comfort. People be like, I'm like, yo, they weird. Let me see. Think Leafy working on this game, and AJ Pax is all over the because I know he was getting some articles, so he probably be scoping out some articles to talk about. Let me see. Yeah, man, it's like really annoying that people. I'm like, my thing is, I'm literally a community guy. I want us all to join together. No matter what we feel or think, we should all come together and talk. But there's always that one person. Cause this show, it could be a round table. Like if people go on the talk shoe part, it's you could have a round table. I think go up to 8 people could be on the round table. I mean on talk show, and it's like a screen, like the Brady Bunch type setup. Yeah, so we all could like talk and discuss things. Like my thing, I don't never try to like, hey, you don't have no right to speak your opinion and stuff like that. I let everybody speak their opinion, but they gotta also respect the other people going to have some type of feedback about what you want. Even the things that I want, people might gonna have feedback about it. Don't mean I'm right, don't mean I'm wrong. Don't mean they're right, don't mean they're wrong. But that's what options is for. Let me see. Think I'm about to start. It's like right when I started, everybody gonna be trying to figure out what I'm reading and what's going on. Um. Oh yeah, I wrote an article. I posted on LinkedIn. It's about Man, we was talking about the. I don't know if you was here. We was talking about a company should do a survey. That's how you could really see who your fan base is. But companies are scared to do that because then it's gonna poke holes in what they're saying. It's gonna make them seem like liars. So they don't want to do surveys. Because suppose you kept saying, "Hey, it's not really the casual fans. They the one that carry the game and stuff like that." And that's the biggest lie ever because the casual fans, they're the quick money, the upfront money. But the hardcore boxing fans and sports gamers, they carry the game for the longest. So it's disrespectful just to make a arcade mode and no hardcore mode. And the hybrid the hybrid mode never cuts it because it always leans toward arcade. All right. Boxing isn't a niche. I think I read something like this. I be writing. I be forgetting sometimes that I wrote something. Um, Boxing isn't a niche, and a survey will prove it. Calling boxing a niche isn't a marketing fact; it's a framing choice. And for a studio like Steel City Interactive, relying on the framing without evidence risks misreading both the sport and its audience. This is exactly where an official trade becomes not just useful but necessary. Give me a second. Look like AJ popped in. Him on Leafy. No, it's AJ. Sub AJ. What's up?
What's up, Paul?
There you go. What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, man? You good?
Yeah.
You was reading something.
Yeah, I was reading something earlier. I was trying to, read something before people start loading in here. Look like only Lamont Davis here today. This is the most I seen you talk, Lamont, in the chat. That dude is delusional. He knows the game is trash. Facts. Yeah. That guy was like, it's this guy in the Discord is trying to come at me like he's like super defending ass. I be thinking some of these guys developers disguised as
Yeah.
community guys.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of them are coming in there with their aliases. Maybe this is the only
Yeah.
way they could actually get any kind of real feedback, if you think about it. Because if you go into Discord, it's so stringent in the Discord. You either get banned for talking the truth, or
Yeah.
if you think about past moderators who were trying to set up service tickets to make it so you could have an archive of what's the issues. Well, they don't want that either. They want basically it's really, I don't like saying it, but it's just the idea of a dictatorship. It's that kind of mentality that and this is the results you get when you like on a social level. Dictatorships have a certain times that you might need a dictatorship. You know what I mean? But the thing is, the end result when you have dictatorship is socialism and communism, and then the end result, communism and socialism, it turns into dictatorships. And eventually, dictatorships, they become greedy because they're getting all the money, and the people are not getting the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. EA.
Look at Maduro's ass. Maduro's ass isn't. He's down by you right now. He has to fight now. He has to figure out what the hell he was doing.
Yeah. But I still say United States did what they always get mad at other countries for doing. You went in there and literally took a dictator out. When there's other dictators in Africa that you could have went and got, but it's about the oil. It's 100% about the oil.
Yes. Venezuela has they're number one in the world for oil reserves. For whatever reason, they have all this oil that's not been processed. They have 300, I don't know if it's billion or billion that's sitting there, and it can't be processed. It can't because of what Maduro was doing. He ruined their oil industry. Him and Hugo Chavez, they ruined it because of how they're running the country. Yeah. So right now, the Americans are trying to get like Exxon, Chevaz. Is it Chevaz? Chevron.
Yeah.
Chevron. They're trying to get them, and they don't want to come in there because they're scared. If they come in there, one, there might be a revolt. There might be a revolution in Venezuela. If anything, study the history of Cuba and what happened to Cuba, man. Back in the day, Cuba was colonized by the United States, and the United States brought all the gambling, all their what's the political word for gambling and broady houses, whorehouses, all that kind of shit was going on, and You know what I mean? All that stuff was going on in Cuba, and the people weren't benefiting from it because all the money so the Americans are making all the money, sending back and sending it back home, and the Cubans are suffering. So that's why Fidel Castro came. He came into power and did what he did, because he had to kick all them people up because they ruined the country. They were just sucking out the resources. They're actually basically whatever you don't want to do in the States, come to Cuba and we'll do it there.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So that's what they have to be. United States has to be worried about how they handle the thing with Venezuela, because if the people in Venezuela revolt, oh God, it's gonna be mayhem. But here's the smart thing by Trump. I'm not no Trump. I don't really talk too much about Trump. Also, too, just in case I cross the border, and you never know what these border agents think. If you say anything negative, kind of thing. But so I won't say anything specific about Trump. But the United States government's smart. What they're doing right now is they took out Maduro, they took him out, but they didn't remove his second in command, which is kind of strange. Why would you leave the second command? It's the same government. But the thing is, if they would have pulled everybody out, what they want to avoid is they don't want Maduro's army to take control of the country.
Yeah, but
because if you remove everything, then you're gonna have that issue you're talking about, how United States went and essentially they invaded another country and they're colonizing it.
Yeah. Because they're already talking about the people they putting in there. You can't go in the country and say you're helping it, but then you placing people in place. That's not your country.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's a smart shot. Why they left the vice president, which is Maduro's right hand person. They left him so they could kind of avoid that situation. But what a lot of what they're doing is still kind of, it's really just smart about it. Yeah, it's very shady what they're doing.
Because that's why they got everybody like how scared and high alert. They don't know which way to go. Like the United Nations, because the United Nations usually would have jumped into something like that.
United Nations is useless, especially I want to say it's really useless in terms of what the United States does everywhere in the world. Are useless.
Yeah.
If anything, man, the United States created the United Nations, from what I remember. It came out about I think after the finished World War II. That's when the United Nations came about as a way to try to keep the peace, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's really United Nations is really a tool by the United States back in the day.
Yeah, it is. But let's not get too political on the show. They're gonna be like, oh,
I told you I'm scared, guy. I'm scared because I know ever since I'm gonna say since 9/11, you cannot open. Now it's worse because now that Trump is the president, you cannot say anything about it because
about him.
You can't say about it because he takes offense to everything. He takes offense, and the thing is, and the CBA, the border police, when you come in there, you have to give them your phone. They're looking for anything that say that you could be like, for example, if I say something negative about Trump, then I could be labeled a terrorist, and I can't get it.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that could be any race. It could be any race. But that's the climate right now.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, E-Boxing Champ came in here. Sup, E-Boxing Champions? Maid came in. Y'all loading up in here. How's it going, Maid 365? Yeah, man.
Hey, give me some quick mod access.
Oh, okay.
I have one thing to show a little later.
I want to show this picture. It's funny. It's that I made. This guy got bad because the guy was defending what I was doing.
What's that?
It was one guy that's in the Discord. He just be trying to find a way to try to call himself rattling me. So a guy had shared one of my pictures, and he got offended to it because I said unfinished. It was a broken down gym, and everybody's laughing about it.
But it's true.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna
It,
try
it, it's
to.
true. Like today, I was just going through some discussion groups. And I went through the Steam discussion group, and I saw a post in the Steam Undisputed discussion group from October 2024. And that's around the time when version 1.0 just came out. And a guy wrote, why are all my punches missing? My punch accuracy is in the 90s and my opponent isn't moving, but for some reason my punches are whiffing every shot. They literally go through my opponent's head.
Yeah.
So you're telling me both online and offlines are piles of garbage. They've had 2 years of beta
Yep.
test phase, millions investment, and the game is still a big steaming pile of garbage. This guy wrote this on October the 26th, 2024. And so if you put that in perspective, he said that 2 years. So that means this game 2022, like this is go back to what we're talking about. Look how long this game is. So look how long this game has really been in beta testing, and they're not fixing it for us. I think one of the biggest false narratives right now is everyone's saying, "Oh, well, the game was designed so not all so to make it kind of like not you can't land a punch every time," which is a lie. I think that's a lie. There's something
No,
beyond it, but
that ain't. They're saying if your punch accuracy is low, but I
this
don't
guy
know
said
if
the punch
it
actually was
is.
90.
Yeah, that's
90
that's
punch
great.
accuracy, and it's still what the only thing I don't know, because if it was a case where the guy was you could hold a block and you could crouch down. So if a guy's throwing a hook to your head and you're crouching down, maybe that's what's causing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see.
Let's check
This
out.
shit, like this is classy. This is classy stuff. So I can't see like who took offense to this.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. It because they say
Who would take offense?
unfinished.
It's unfair, but why take offense to this,
It's
man? Like,
what's it's telling the truth, but he trying to glaze for Still City, and I think it's not
who?
even Still City. Just don't like me. I forget his name. It's somebody on the in the Discord. I don't even want to give his name no airtime. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I don't want to even give him no airtime like that. It was some joke getting on my nerve yesterday. He wanted to come on the show. I ignored him because he's like, I knew he was gonna come on the show and say something stupid. It's all right to have your opinion, but when you intentionally say something stupid, nah, that ain't gonna happen.
The the from yesterday talking about or today?
Yeah, no, yesterday, two people wanted to come on the show, and both of them, I was
So
like, nah, that ain't happening, cause y'all, I could tell they idiots. They just want to come on the show and talk stupid.
I can't remember who it was.
Yo, that undisputed Discord is kind of annoying. Yo, even E-Boxing Champion said the same thing. But they be getting annoying on purpose, like their thing is to run us out of there. So we don't have no opinion. We don't say anything. So they call themselves like getting on us and stuff. Like one guy, I know the Joker is he's not me. He's not a black person. So he say little things, and I'm like, what you really saying is racist without being racist. Calling me like he like literally saying, because a lot of people take offense to that, like when in the hood that's what you call but then you think somebody else from a different culture saying it, they being disrespectful to you, because how do you know that language? And he was just saying annoying stuff.
Besides the word "unk," were they using other what's the word vernacular that you would say that it was lining up to "unk"? You know what I mean? Like anything else they were saying?
He was saying it's just the way he was like everything he was saying like down, like like how you talk down to somebody. So I was like, all right, I see where you at.
No, but if you're saying the person wasn't black and they're saying and they're talking onk and they're saying yo and they're going like, hey, what's up, homeboy? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? They're trying to talk that
Yeah,
style. They're trying to talk a certain style kind of stuff. That's what
yeah,
then
yeah.
I
Then
can see what you're saying. That
yeah,
they're basically they're trying too hard.
yeah. No, but he was saying it in a disrespectful, like the
I
way he
guess
was
okay.
saying, yeah, because he was like, shouldn't you be at work, Unc?
Oh, okay.
So what you trying to
Yeah, I
say?
see what you mean.
That right there, you see where he was going with it. Yo, that under I read that already. Yeah, man. I was like annoyed. And I was like doing some research and I posted up there. Oh, like the survey thing. I'm gonna keep pushing that. I'd rather for them to just come out and say you don't need a survey. I mean, we're
What's
not gonna make one.
what's
What you
funny is
said?
that when people are what's funny is when you have these people and they're calling people onk and all this kind of and they're being condescending. The funny thing is that they're doing it to the other community members, but when you look at the people who are involved in the production of this game, it's a bunch of unks too. Where is
Yeah,
that? Where is that fucking energy? You know what
exactly.
I mean? But they're cowards. They don't want to go on. They don't want to go on Twitter. They don't want to go on X. They don't want to go on Facebook. They don't want to go on Instagram. They don't want to come on YouTube. Nothing. And
Exactly.
those guys are old. Those are older,
Anger.
mature people. You know,
What's his
and they're
name?
senior. There's no.
Anger.
It's not no 18-year-old, early 20s, or even into a running production. Except the guys who are probably in communications and
Like
stuff. You know what I
Aimbot,
mean?
I think Aimbot like in his 30s, but still, a lot of people call him an because he in his 30s.
The four directors are unks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Especially
Well,
Will
I hear what you.
Smith. Especially Will
Oh,
Smith.
Win. Wilkins was he.
We're just about to call her Winnie the
What
Pooh. You
Winnie
say
the Pooh?
Winnie?
Nah, I don't give him that. I don't give him that kind of respect. He ain't Winnie the Pooh. You know who? Hey, you know who's Winnie the Pooh? And you know who's Winnie the Pooh? And you can't say it. You'll get jailed. You'll get jailed too if you go to China. You know the leader of China. What's his name?
Oh,
I forgot his name. The leader of China. He has a ban. You can't import Winnie the Pooh dolls there because people say he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nah. I thought you
Let me
talking
let
about
me let
North
me pull this.
Korea.
Leader of China. His name is Xi Jinping. You want to see
Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh? Hold on.
yeah, this should be interesting.
It should be interesting. When you see Winnie the Pooh, fuck. This is Winnie the Pooh. Hold on. That's the leader of China, man. People say he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah.
So they have a ban. You can't say in Chinese media you can't say and you can't have and they have a ban on all kind of can't any Winnie the Pooh with this guy around, man. He's offended
Wow.
by it. He can't take a joke.
That that's funny.
That's Winnie, man.
Once you showed this picture, because I've seen him quite a few times. Once you said that, I was like, all right, yeah, I see it.
Look that up after about the ban on Winnie the Pooh. You'll get a good laugh out of it.
That
But
that's
that's the thing I
crazy.
don't understand. Like you have intelligent people trying to fight for the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's the I don't know what's the mindset of these people, but they just don't care. In reality, too, it might be just a casual who doesn't really even doesn't watch boxing, doesn't care for boxing.
exactly.
Just,
That was the argument I had today. The guy was saying people don't know what they want. I said, don't do that. I keep telling people, stop saying people don't know what they want. People know what they want, but you shouldn't force people that know what they want to accept something.
that, that,
Boxing
that
fans know
that's
what
what
they want.
That is the mindset JMMA came out yesterday. Not his mindset, but he was mentioning about there's all these things that people want, but they don't really want it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah,
saying they
but
want
that
boxing
sound like
sim.
developer talk. That sound like developer talk. And that's the argument I always have with developers. People
Well,
know what they want. It's y'all pick and choose which side y'all want to. Hey, that's closer to what we're developing. We don't want to develop for that because we're making a realistic boxing game. They gotta have more eyes on making sure it's correct. When they do arcade, yeah, we don't care.
like
Nobody really paying
the,
attention to it.
the fact is this, that the say for somebody from, I guess, involved with Undisputed to come and say that, that the sim doesn't sell and all that kind of stuff and blah blah blah. But the reality is, how the hell is Claimer and Cut? How the hell? Why is he making a game? Why is he
Yeah,
making a game and it has everything we've been asking for? And that's one
yeah.
man. How's that possible?
Yeah. Oh, swear. What's called? He said the name. Man, don't say his name, man, because he might come up in here, man.
Who?
No, he shouldn't even, his name TBN Stuvie. That's the guy that was aggravating me in the Discord. He changed in there. This Joker, he kind of what you call it? He like a narcissist type person because he had his name in it 2 times under 2 different names. Like he was talking. I was like, yo, this Joker weird.
But he was gonna come on and talk.
He wanted to.
Shall
I
let
ain't was
him
gonna
hear
do.
what he had to say. You were just
He
getting
was
bad
gonna say
vibes.
something stupid. Nah, I knew he was gonna say something stupid. It's just hold up. E-boxing champ say it's just something stupid these kids say. Don't let it get to you. No, you know what's annoying? Like even my son was saying it. He said back in the days when people say or uncle, call the older people uncle. A lot of coaches do that. They call older people uncle. They be like uncle. But now they don't changed it, and some people it's like they say it in disrespectful because you're older, or they call you
Well, yeah,
old.
in modern times now, when you hear that, when you see somebody calling somebody unk, the context is really to say you're senile,
Yeah,
you're past your prime. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's like the grass ain't green here anymore, and that's
yeah,
what and that's and I'm young and I know more.
yeah. That
Go to
stuff don't.
sleep.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, uncle. That never really bothered me. Somebody call me uncle because I got nieces and nephews. So uncle never bothered me. I just got mad with my nephew the other day. Instead of calling me uncle, he said unc. I said, hold up, no, uncle. Don't stop shortening up everything. Cause I tell my son, cause he called me Ba, but he grew up calling me Baba, which is father. So he said Ba. I said, no, you changed the context of the word when you shorten it.
Right.
Stop shortening up stuff. My name not
What's
Ba.
the what's the, so well, uncle's 2 syllable. What is the I guess the cool way to say aunt?
Auntie.
Well, aunties, no, but aunt is really uncle and aunt, right? And then auntie to me is more, that's like somebody saying mommy.
Yeah.
It's an
That's what.
add-on.
Yeah, but I never really hear them say unless they call them a B. That's the only thing other than that. When it comes to female, let me see. E-boxing champion said, "Yeah, that was the impression I was getting from JMMA. He was just blatantly arguing that he thinks there shouldn't be realism in a boxing game.
Yeah,
If he
and his argument is
they
why,
wasn't
and his
arguing
argument
that
is
before.
why isn't there how come there's no realistic boxing? It's because Claymore Cut's coming out with it. Every damn indie developer saw, how many indie developers right now are trying to push out something because of the disappointment
Realistic.
of Undisputed. Like, how can you say that?
Exactly. Yup, exactly. I think Jay knows something and he not saying anything. He like subliminally telling us stuff that how they're gonna version they're gonna go.
Yo,
Like they could start
you,
fresh with a arcade mode and be like, we never really didn't say it this time, basically. But
so you think, okay, so you think Jay knows something? I'm gonna take the opposite argument. I don't think he knows anything. And the reason why is that if he did know something, like if he knew that if there was a planned strategy because they're getting ready to release Undisputed 2, he wouldn't be talking that smack in here. He'll be minding himself because he can't, because if he does something that could endanger his partnership, that that's lost views, that's lost money, that's lost revenue. So that's what I'm saying. Like the way he's talking, there ain't no fucking Undisputed 2 in the horizon right now, as far as I'm
but
concerned.
but I was saying the same thing. But then when I seen him, he was talking junk that time. He was talking a lot of smack. I say, oh man, Jay. I say, yo, why you talking smack? And he still end up going to the event. He was talking
But that's
smack
what
before that.
that's what surprises me, right? But yo,
Yeah.
talk about talking junk. Caught him 2 times yesterday, and I think later on when I left, then you kind of picked up. I caught him. He was talking about the UFC 4 and the sales stats and all that kind of shit. I said there is no sales stats. He said it once. I called him out on it. I said EA does not publish the UFC series stats.
But
He
I
said it
knew
a
what
second
it
time,
was.
and I told him a second time. Since
Yeah.
UFC 4 onwards, EA does not publish it because they don't want it. Because you know why? The game's not successful. Because they can't. They don't want nobody to know that.
Yeah.
If the game, if
I already
UFC
knew.
sold, if
They
it sold
already
more
knew.
than 2 million copies, they would have been shouting it loud. You know what I mean? Tell everybody, look, 2 million.
Yeah.
If it sold
Yeah.
1.5 million, then what's up? They can't. The fact is this: there's very good chance that it didn't even outsell the Fight Night. It didn't outsell Fight Night Champion, and maybe didn't sell Fight Night Round 4 and Part 3. They would have said it. They're not gonna hide that.
Because the thing is, they use the Knockout Kings in the Fight Night series to see because their thing was they wanted the UFC game to be more popular than those.
Yeah.
They did it the first game, only the first game, and they knew if they kept publishing it, it was going to show that it wasn't outselling Fight Night or Knockout Kings. Yes, because it makes no sense that they just automatically stop putting. Because I was looking, I was like, I know because I was making content. I was trying to make I was writing stuff back then. I wasn't doing videos, and I was saying that UFC still didn't do better than the Knockout Kings or the Fight Night. I used to always say that in posts. Let me see.
That's right, yeah, Ibra. What I heard him say, I knew off the bat because I didn't know Jay was coming that day, but that's something I've been researching that. I look up that stuff. I study that stuff, man. So for him to come in there and say that 2 times, I'm not letting him get away with it. The fact is this, Paul, when you went and looked after, you saw the last time EA published any of the EA UFC was UFC 3. UFC 3 was in 2012.
Yeah. I looked it up because I wanted to make sure because I know because I used to talk to the developers all the time, and I was like, I thought they said they weren't gonna post for the UFC,
and that's really what
they didn't know how the numbers was, and they wanted to keep Dana White impressed. If it looked like if they would have showed Dana White that hey, we didn't do that good, that would look bad on them. So they ain't post nothing.
So here, to be fair, then what stats was he pulling then? Is he looking at something where this week the number 1 selling game on the like a ranking? You know how they have these ranking things?
Yeah.
Is that what he's looking at? But that doesn't tell you the sales figures.
No.
It don't tell you units sold. It doesn't tell you the revenue. Nothing.
No. Dad, let me.
You know what that's like? Hey, you know what that's like?
Yeah,
hey, you know what that's like? What he's looking like? Hey, what he was looking at? It's almost like back in the day when you go to Blockbuster or you go to a video rental store and they have a list showing, okay, this is the number 1 rental, this is number 2 rental, this is number 3 rental.
Yeah.
But they ain't backing up and say, yeah, why is this number 1 rental? Because 1,000 people rented it. Because you know what I mean? Like it's just a ranking.
Yeah. Let me see. Metacritic usually have the numbers.
You ain't gonna find nothing from UFC 4 and 5. Not gonna find that numbers. You won't find it. That is, if anything, you'll find that EA does not disclose that information.
And that's exactly what I saw yesterday. I want to load up. All right, there we go. EA UFC, what, 4, right?
Yeah, UFC. The last two that came out was UFC 4 and UFC 5. Those are the last two.
Yeah, the Metacritic got them at 78, so that's not good compared to what I think Fight Night had a higher score than that. Let me see.
Actually, if you're looking at Metacritic, there's two different ways to look at it. One, they aggregate all the what do you call, recognized reviewers or like the publishers, but then the other one to look at is the actual user reviews. Yeah. I trust the user reviews more because they're not getting paid to do the review.
Yeah. They just got 2.4 with that. Their Metascore is 78 though.
UFC 5 is a beautiful game. It's like it's basically it's what Champion would have turned into eventually. All that knowledge, all that stuff went into UFC 5 eventually.
Yeah, I know it did. Darn them. They usually have more information. They be changing these sites back to back.
But you see, Boxing Champion, when Jay did that, you see, he's probably used to like getting away with that in the Discord because they could Discord bully there. You know what I mean? But as well too, if it's on his channel, he could get away too because the moderators will just ban anybody who comes with the truth, kind of thing. So, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he comes back and shows the damn data, then I'll learn something from him.
Let me see. Yeah, I can't find. I gotta look at this when I'm not doing the show. They're talking about.
Let me ask you this. Actually, no, keep on going. I'll bring it up after.
Okay. He wasn't pulling stats. He was literally just saying what he thought would prove his point. It was literally like arguing with a woman. That y'all going all in. Oh man. Yeah, this is what I was trying to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was about to look at something I was trying to talk about earlier about this survey.
Mm-hmm.
And how they keep and how Still City and companies keep trying to call boxing a niche. Boxing is not a niche. It makes too much money globally, and it has too much of a reach, so it's not a niche. And too many games been made. You don't that many games made for a boxing game. That's not a niche no more. Niches.
I totally agree with you.
Very seldom see them.
I agree with you. You know why too? First off, what if them calling it a niche is a lie? You know why?
Yeah.
You know what's a niche sport? Lacrosse.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? You ever see any lacrosse games out there? The fucking niche.
They got one.
You ever see field? You ever see field hockey games? They ain't no. That's a niche.
Oh, cool.
Handball. You ever see handball games?
Yeah, man. That's niche.
Like like those are sports, but really
nobody really cares for them.
They call boxing a niche when boxing has been around since the early 1900s, and then finally it was around the 60s when the WBC started really taking off. It wasn't no.
Yeah,
It's not no. It's an international money making sport.
but
It's false to say it's a niche.
yeah, but when they say that, they try to keep framing it so people can keep believing it and they keep going on. That's why I be trying to educate, the community. They're like, it's not a niche at all. They're saying that so that the expectations don't be high. It's a niche
Yeah.
sport. We can't do this. Why spend that much money on something? Man, they just made over.
Oh shoot. Uh. Yo, Poe, is your Can you hear me? You blacked out for a second and then came back in, but I don't know if I'm hearing your audio right now. Say
Wonder
something.
why I did that.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, your audio's back. Yeah, but you
Oh,
disappeared. It's
that?
like you left the. Yeah, like you actually. It's You were gone from the broadcast for about 10 seconds, and like you actually left, and then you're back in now.
Yeah, that's crazy. My background was still there and everything.
No, no, it's like you. It's like you
Oh,
exit. You know
all
when you hear the
right.
sound effect when you exit and you
No,
come back in. I heard that.
long as long as everything left, I didn't
Yeah, yeah.
disappear and then come back. Then we gotta
Well,
have
yo, it's
another
a good thing you
conversation.
gave me the mod access before because it would have collapsed the whole thing if I didn't have the mod at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, facts.
Niche, another niche sport. But and it's funny they have a game on it. Rollerblades, not rollerblades. It's
Yeah,
this
that's
game where you
rollerblade.
is it
Skateboarding. That's
rollerblades
niche.
and you
Skateboarding
have the ball
niche.
and you're trying to throw. Yeah, that's a niche sport too, man.
That's
You know what I
niche.
mean? Like don't like we know like the fact that we know what niche sports are. And the call boxing is
Yeah,
like
it's crazy, but
curling. Curling is a niche sport.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
And you know what? If Steel City was to do a curling game, they'll fuck that up too.
Yo,
Because
it's
you know it's
crazy.
true, they would fuck it up, man.
Yeah, I think so too. No, you know what? They actually might do that right. Mess us
You think
up.
so, dog?
They might do that right. Be like, oh man, you serious?
No, they would
That's
fuck it up.
cool. I won't be surprised if Steel City say they're about to expand their horizon, try to work on two games, just like literally work on another project, which would be stupid.
What do you mean 2 games?
Like this, like, hey, we're gonna make another kind of game, like
Not
another
a boxing
sport.
game, you mean?
Yeah, not only boxing, they try to expand the company.
Nah.
You know,
This is Steel City is only in it for they you know what? What you're saying is possible, but I feel it's
yeah.
possible on the
But
success
it
of a
might not
company.
be them. It might not be them. It might be the people that's invested in them and the shareholders and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we should expand. Grab other projects because they could take the IPs from EA. Like we know some of them people that's going to buy into EA and they're selling off IPs. Hey, we could get it and get some thrill. But to me, that's a waste of time. First, you got to make a great game, and then you think about stuff like that. But the way they moving, it's crazy. The way Steel City move, I'm like, yo, you really? They doing more marketing. They marketing heavy and heavier. Like every week, it's more marketing, and nobody's calling them out on it. What you say?
Here's one thing. Here's one thing to ask is when they say niche, are they saying that a boxing sim is niche as opposed to a boxing hybrid?
They literally saying they saying boxing in general. They don't care what it is. It's a niche, and it's better for it to be if you were going to make a boxing game, it's best for it to be arcade. That's
Do
what
you
I
remember?
get from when people be saying that.
Do you recall who said that?
Um, Quite a few people in the Discord. The mods was Gub. What's his name? All the mods and stuff. They were saying stuff like that. And I heard a couple of At least two developers, I think, said that. I don't think Aimbot said it because Aimbot he always try to be like on the fence about things.
Watch this. And I don't like using AI reports here, but just off the bat, if we're saying boxing is a niche, Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez had an average audience of 36.6 million people. That's not niche.
Exactly.
That's not niche.
Pacquiao Mayweather, how many people they had?
Pacquiao Mayweather. That's a box office record still.
Yeah, that's like third, I think, second or third. So how's that niche? But people are
4.4 million viewers.
That's viewers, Dad. Look up. Imagine the money behind the viewers.
That's not a niche either. That's 4.4 million.
Yeah.
What was the other funny one here? Check this one out. I don't know. I gotta fact check where they got this one, but saying boxing has grown considerably, attracting over 26 million new fans between 2010 to 2020.
See that right
The
there,
audience,
like,
with 41% fans aged between 25 to 34, and 32% of Gen Z sports fans identifying as avid boxing fans. So like, it's just lies, man. Like when these guys are saying it's a niche, it's not.
No, that helps narrate how they want us to think. You know, they don't want to invest the time and the money into the game. So like, hey, why should we put money into a niche sport? Nah, it's not a niche sport.
Here's a good one for you. Here's a good one for you. I need to see where they pulled this one from, but boxing is a widely popular sport with an estimated global audience of over 500 million fans. That's not a niche.
Not at all. Not at all.
There it is. IBA Sports. IBA.sports has an article. The International Boxing Association. This is where I'm getting the data from. 500 million people. That's the global audience, man.
Yeah, because IBA, they do the amateur and the pro setup.
Here, watch this. Watch this. It's not a niche. If anything, the only thing that's niche is the lies that these guys are telling.
Exactly. People got to make them stop saying it instead of keep defending it.
So this article by the International Boxing Association, right off their website, June of 2023, IBA media rights. If I go down, key demographics, 16 to 29, 29%, 30 to 49, 42%, 50 to 69, 30%, female 49, male 51. And here's the key stat right here. Fans around the world, 539.54 million people. 6th fucking largest sport in the world. And this was in 2023. Top 5 in most popular sport. Top 5 most popular sport in Philippines, Mexico, Thailand, UK, Russia, and Germany.
Yeah.
The fact that the developers from the UK, what the fuck? So what the fuck are they selling us then?
Exactly. That's crazy.
Here we go. Look at this. Level of interest in boxing in comparison with selected sports. Rugby, 18%. Golf, 22%. MMA, 29%. Cycling, 31%. Boxing, 31%. Track and field, 33%. Tennis, 33%. Motorsport, 34%. Basketball, 41%. And football, soccer, 50%. None of these are niche sports.
Nope.
Because I ain't seeing curling. I'm not seeing handball. I ain't seen field hockey.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's crazy that they keep doing that because it's like they really don't want people to challenge them. They don't want people to challenge them. So they just put that blanket out there.
Look at this. We have all the data here. This is from the International Boxing Association. We ain't making it up. Hey, this person here, that's not, I know who that is. She shouldn't have won the gold medal. I think that's the back in the Olympics this year. There was two transgender. There was two transgender women. I think this is the girl from China that won, and then the other one was the girl from was it Algeria? But I think this is the girl from China that won. But but she's a male. The IBA tested her blood, man. She shouldn't have been fighting with the females. But and that's not, and the next coming Olympics that won't happen. They're just gonna stop it. And if you're wondering who the IBA is, the IBA is the World Boxing Championship, is a signature event on the IBA calendar going back 49 years ago. It begins in 1974. The IBA Men's World Championship. The IBA is the organization that was also for all the years they were the governing body for Olympic boxing.
Yeah.
And then finally they got kicked out because of identity politics. Yo, e-boxing champion. The only reason I don't want to mention Mayweather versus McGregor or Tyson versus Jones, yeah, those pulled in a lot, but I still kind of see those. Those are not the. What's the best way to say it? Those were fights, but it's not the marquee fight. Those are fights that people like Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. It's like we want to see it, but we're watching it not for the boxing. We're watching it for something else. If anything, Mayweather versus McGregor, there was a lot of foolish people that thought McGregor was going to somehow beat him. Tyson versus Jones was really an exhibition fight. If you notice, they weren't trying to knock out each. They really fought like an exhibition fight, which is fine. I think the whole idea with Tyson versus Jones really to showcase at what stage of life is Mike Tyson at in terms of his boxing skills. Because up to that time, Roy Jones was still boxing. He was still an active boxer. I think when Jones fought Tyson, I think Jones was probably only out of the ring for maybe 2 years at that point, or maybe 12 or 24 was within that time. So he was still an active boxer for his age. Tyson wasn't in the ring for nearly over 20 plus years or more. Yeah. I didn't want to say freak show, but I wanted to be a little bit respect because I still respect Tyson and Jones for the accomplishments and everything. But yeah, it was kind of like a freak show. It's really an exhibition. That's what exhibition is. It's just like when Mayweather fought his first exhibition fight and he knocked out the guy from Yinsen, from the Japan kickboxing guy. But at least that fight was a more legit fight because that guy from Japan, he was trying to hurt Mayweather. Yeah, he boxing champ, man. Going back to that whole data, you can't. It's you got to fact check people like that. But yeah, he can't show no data. Yeah, boxing champ. I don't think we'll see celebrities signing up for slap fighting for one reason too. Slap fighting is pretty dangerous when you think about it. And slap fighting, you can't defend yourself. There's no guard. You have to literally take a full blunt open hand punch to your face. It's really an open hand. You could call it a slap, but it's an open-handed punch to your face, and you could bust your eardrum too. No celebrities, no celebrities gonna want to go for that. Just like at least boxing, you could put if you're a celebrity, I guess at the early points you could wear headgear, but I think I ain't trying to say boxing are dangerous, but the slap fighting, man, you're gonna get an injury no matter what. That's the fact that you cannot protect your head. I don't know. What do you guys think right now of the development of Tail of the Tape? Is it Tail of the Tape? Let me see something here. There's two boxing games. I was like Overhead Interactive and Tail of the Tape. Let me see Tail of the Tape. Right. So I'm talking about Tail of the Tape had their last gameplay update back on 2 months ago. What? So every time I see the Tail of the Tape, I like it, but at the same time, they haven't implemented all the little nuances of boxing yet. It's all punching right now. And what I'm afraid of with Tail of the Tape is right now, because it's in the early stages, all the punches are landing, no problem, right? But I'm just kind of curious if they'll run into the same problems as Undisputed did once they start to get to that next level. But I think what Tail of the Tape, I think I can't tell if it's Unreal or Unity.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That is okay.
What's going on in the chat?
They were just talking about slap fighting, and I was saying that
yeah, I
I'm
saw
not.
that.
I don't think any celebrity will go and slap fight because you can't protect your head.
Yeah,
You're gonna take you're taking an open hand. You're taking an open hand punch to your face, and you're gonna bust your eardrum too.
Yep. That's exactly what it does. That's nothing to mess with. I used to smack people like in the street. They're gonna be talking slick to me, and I smack them. Bow, knock them out with a smack.
And you know what? People who are going to become professional slap fighters, I guarantee it, they'll have more symptoms of what do you call it? CT, is it called CT or concussion? Yes. Like when you start to get things on your thing because because they can't protect themselves.
And their ear gonna be ringing and all that. With boxing,
it's like they're gonna have the adult version of shaken baby syndrome. You know what I mean? Like,
hold that thought. Yo, man, tell her the Tapes gave you an interview and they give me an interview. Look who popped
using
up
Unity,
there.
okay.
Daddy using Unity? That right there.
You know what? And it looks good. The fact that I was thinking, is it Unity or is it Unreal? But here's my thing.
It has like a Unity, if you like really have like a kind of a Unity like feel to it. But what we're looking at with the first video, that looked it. We thought that was Unreal and that was Unity. So
but you know what? What Tail of the Tape, like, so the last update came, they showed a video about 2 months ago. And you've said this a couple of times about Rock'em Sock'em. I get the impression now it's starting to look like Rock'em Sock'em because they haven't brought in anything else yet. It seems like they're still just perfecting the punches.
Oh.
But also, too, we're not seeing a variety of punches, nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
I think some of the comments too were all they're trying to, it's just an inside fighting game. That's what it's looking like right now. But but I guess it's early in development.
Yeah. We gotta be critical. We gotta be critical. Nobody left off the table. Even claim uncut, he gonna get it too. So yeah, but we gotta be honest. Um, he says slap is the dumbest thing ever. I knew it's small and it won't last. It's the definition of niche. Exactly. I'm like, man, how can that actually be a sport like that? You smacking somebody. Damn, imagine the pimps back in the day, boy, they'd have been billionaires. Smacking somebody like that. Let me see.
Yo, let me
Yeah, go ahead.
let me ask you this. Do you remember a couple of days ago I did a quick little test video called Splitting the Guard?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you watched it and I saw one of your comments and you said splitting the guard dot dot dot. What were your thoughts on that? And that all that was a test to show how do you split the guard in the game.
Yeah, because I knew people was gonna come right after that. That's why I put the dot dot.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about now because Owen's here now, so we now he popped up at the right time. But when you saw it, was that actually splitting the guard that was demonstrating? Because I was asking questions about splitting the guard.
Yeah, that was a way of splitting the guard, 100%.
So what? So how do we define splitting the guard from your because of your boxing background?
Yeah, any punch that breaks the guard, like it's like coming right through the, like you go right through. Like some people call breaking the guard when you make the person drop their hands. No, but splitting the guard is like when you punch right through it.
So you could so there's a hole here. If you could go through here, you're splitting the guard.
Yeah.
If you're covered and you come around the guard,
that's
is that splitting the guard as well?
No.
That's going. So what is that then? If you're hooking around the guard, then
punching around the guard. That's it.
Okay. But can we still put it in the family of ways to split the guard? Because remember we were saying about there's also block manipulation, not block. What's it called? I think we said block manipulation when you're kind of pulling on the block or you manipulate to get that advantage too.
Yeah.
But is that splitting the guard when you do that? Or
people in some of the fight night games, even though it didn't have that, they were doing certain things like manipulating it so it look like you like messing with people's defenses.
Okay. So the reason I asked you this.
Oh, good.
So the reason here, I'm going to show you something here.
All right. While you doing that, Clockwork said, "Yay, bro. Just ask them. They gave me an interview, no problem, and answers all questions." Oh, you did one of my numbers. He gave them the questions. Cause at first, you know, I usually do a live interview and ask you questions like that. But with the Fight Night Forever,
so, yeah, what we're doing is live, aka it's called hot take. We're doing hot takes.
Yeah,
these are all hot takes. And a lot of people are scared to do a hot take because you have to think.
Yeah,
you got to think on the fly and know what you're doing. That's one of the most difficult things when you have to do a hot take. But when you like going back to what was that clown's name? The guys who do Fight Night Forever.
Yeah,
those fuckers. They were scared to do a hot take, and they wanted all the questions formatted in such a way so they can't answer. So everything is like a closed-ended question, so they don't have to. They don't have to do nothing.
And then he's like, "Nah," they said, "We ain't gonna answer no questions." I'm like, "Yo, you should have like at least told me something, because we had a show planned around that." That's why I be like going at them, because they did it in a dishonest way. Let me see. What's going on? Go. All right, go ahead.
So I'm just gonna play this. I'm just gonna play this here quickly here, right? I'm not gonna play it because I know when we share it while we're doing it, it's gonna go choppy. But I'm just gonna bring it about. Let me see.
It might actually be good if it be choppy, because it's like slow motion. You can literally see the
Okay, here. So I'm gonna pause right. If you notice, okay, the whole idea is we're trying to figure out if can you split the guard and undisputed, right? So if you look here at the bottom here, you have the block has its own little its own little meter here. So right now you see it's in the red because I kept on punching them, but he's still able to block as long as he has the meter. But when that thing goes empty, the punches are now going through his guard. Straight jabs and straights. Forget about the hooks, but so we can define that it's splitting the guard right now because the block is empty, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing now. Why I brought that up is because a Clockwork Orange, he responded to me. And this is what he said. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Okay, here. So here's your comment. This is what I was asking you about splitting the guard. But here's what Clockwork said, right? Crazy. So Clockwork wrote, crazy, this randomly popped up on my timeline. You didn't split the guard, you block broke. Big difference. As you saw, while he had the block meter left nothing, got through. You could only land once the meter was empty. Secondly, you ran the test with a clear bias in mind. You punched till your stamina was empty and then allowed your stamina to recharge. That's bullshit. And then continue to punch again. What you didn't do was allow the opponent's block meter to recharge also. A player will not just stand there while their block is empty and not just back up and release the block button and allow the block button to recharge you. What you will find is that if you watch my video where I correctly ran the experiment, you will lose all your short-term stamina before the block meter can be depleted enough to get shots through, and then their block meter will recharge before. So that to me, that's a lot of fluff you're talking about, right? When I watched your video, everybody said in your video you were the same way I was trying to demonstrate something. You were demonstrating to the point that after the patch, all you're doing is you're headhunting. All you're doing is headhunting, and this is why you can't even knock at your opponent. But anyways, not to go off course, the whole idea with this thing was we were arguing about, can you split the guard in Undisputed? And yes, you can. Once that block meter goes empty, even though you don't want to, even though you're trying to go against what I'm saying, that's the whole point. You can split the guard. People are saying you can't split the guard, but if the block meter is empty, I just demonstrated in the video. Anyone can watch it. You're going straight through the guard. I'm not even going around it. I'm jabbing through the. I'm jabbing through the guard. I'm sending it straight through the guard. So to say you can't, Oren, to say that you cannot split the guard Undisputed is false information you're spreading. The whole test was to prove if you could split the guard Undisputed. I think also too that and just going back to what you mentioned, Oren, you said you could only add once the meter was empty. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. But secondly, you ran the test with a clear bias in your mind. You punched till your stamina was empty. I have to do that because I'm testing out the function. I'm testing out a technical function of the freaking game. I have to test it out. How else do you want me to test it? Yeah, I just read your comment, man. Basically, you don't want nobody to prove that you could split the block in the game. You're basically telling me that I'm not allowed to. You don't want me to drain the block meter in order to see if you could punch through the guard. Is that correct? So it kind of goes back to saying that, okay, if you're saying if you don't want to have a block meter in the game, or that kind of how the concept of blocking works and how Undisputed Sin should work, how do you want to split through the guard? Because I'm just trying to figure out, how would you split through it? Is it going to be something random? Every so often a jab might go through the block. I don't know. Or so you're saying I didn't split the guard, but I'm showing factual proof that I split the guard. What else do you want to say? Here, I'll show it again to you. I don't know what else. How else you want me to prove it? You're saying I'm not splitting the guard. So I'm gonna kind of doubt you know what splitting the guard means then. Here, block is going down. No more block. I'm hooking around the guard. Hooking around the guard. Block is empty. Hooking around it. Hooking around it. Hooking around it. Hooking around it. But if I go back here, so that's hooking around guard. Let's go back to the beginning here. Okay. One more. Okay, block is empty. Splitting the guard. 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 How else do you want me to split the guard, man? I'm showing you fact how the game works and how you split it. And you're telling me that's not splitting the guard. So like, so either you're just kind of you're just defining it how you want to. Yeah, his block meter is gone. So okay. In order for me to split the guard in this video game, the block meter has to be at 0 at that point. It has to be depleted, right? So are you telling me that once his block meter is depleted, the act of me throwing that jab and the act of me throwing the straight is not splitting the guard? Because in the video, the guy's still holding the guard up. He's still holding a high guard, but he's going through his guard. I proved it. Stop making shit up, man. You're literally saying his block meter is gone, therefore it shouldn't be considered splitting the guard. You want to see somebody split the guard when they have a block meter, then, right? You keep on saying block broke, not split the guard, but the evidence shows that once his block meter was depleted, the jab and the straight are going straight down the middle, and he couldn't stop, and he couldn't protect himself, even though he was holding up his guard. You can't argue against that, man. I don't know how you're gonna say it's not splitting the guard. What's it right? Oh, hey Siri, what time is it in the UK?
It's 12:17 a.m.
It's 12:17 a.m. in London right now. You could come on the podcast and explain tell the audience what splitting the block is, because obviously you have a different viewpoint on it, and it's 12:17 in the UK. I'm precisely. It's like I'm not trying to make drama, but I have a video there showing within the realms of undisputed boxing what splitting the guard looks like, and this guy Oren saying it's not splitting the guard. He's saying it's something else. Why? So Clockwork, why does the time in the UK make a difference to you, bro? Because I'm trying to get you to come on and speak for yourself. The more I try to respond to you through the YouTube chat, it's there's always gonna be stuff that's lost in translation. So that's why I'm always kind of like, come on the show live and speak your point, and there'll be less errors in communication. Then it's very simple, man. The reason why I'm asking why it's 12:17, I figure it's not past your fucking bedtime yet. All right, so here, let me get the link. Hold on, wait for Poe. When Poe comes back, he'll post the link. He'll post the link in the chat here. Actually, no, I don't have mod in the YouTube chat. You hang on tight. 1 sec. Let me get this stuff. Let me get the thing.
So let me know. I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you in the morning. You got her breakfast and stuff. I'll see you the stuff that you take. Put in your shopping cart. They tell me to tell me to get up in the morning. I can
Okay, wait, yo, Oren, hold on 1 sec. I gotta wait. I gotta get Paul's gonna have the link right now. Unless I could find it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here.
No, don't pull that up.
All right, I found it. But let me see. Oren, are you in the Discord?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, get another one. I'm just
Here, I'm gonna put just in case you're in the Discord. I'm gonna post it inside in the Discord for now, inside the general chat room, that you'll see it. I don't have you as on my Discord like as a private. But if you're already joined Poe's Discord server, you'll see the link right there.
I love you, Dave. I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning.
Let me see if I could just post it here at the same time. 1 sec. I'm gonna get you on, man. Oh, yo, Oren, this is the best I can do for now. This is the link. You could join on your computer, you could join on your phone. And when you join, you have an option. You could go with video on or off. Just make sure you have your mic on.
Give me a second. Who
Wait, yo, Paul, can you post that link in the YouTube? Because Oren's gonna come on.
Give me a second.
Here, I'm gonna send you on the Discord. Hold on, I'll send you on Discord as well. Where are you? All right, I just sent you on Discord as well.
Yeah, if we do it from the Discord, he should be able to get it.
No, I sent it to you, so just in case you could post it on the YouTube chat. Because right now I'm showing it from the type, but if you could put it in the YouTube chat, it might be better.
What did I do? Because I don't leave my what's called open when we doing the show. What the heck? Give me a second. I messed up. Give me a second. I gotta go to my Discord.
Because when I go in the YouTube chat, I can't post links. It'll screen it. But when you do it, it'll show up in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, because I think I got more I opened up more access. Let me see. Daggone. There you go. Discord.
Anyways, I'll put it here long enough for to see if you can get into Discord now or on the YouTube chat for him. But you know why he's coming on? You know why he's coming on now?
Because you was messing
Look at
with
the
him.
look. No, look at the chat. What he's writing. Look what he wrote in the chat. He's saying you didn't split the guard. You didn't split the guard. Splitting guard would be if he had the block meter and the punch. If he had a block, if the meter was still full, and I threw the punches, that's his. He wants to define that's what splitting the guard. You have to have a block meter and then split it, right? But the way the game works is that when the meter is empty, then all the punches start to go through the guard. That's the way the game behaves. But he's saying that's not. He wants to say that's not splitting the guard. He's saying here, yeah, bro, splitting the guard like that, not block. He's saying it's block breaking. I don't think you understand the difference.
Nah, that's not what splitting guard is. Splitting the guard is literally you splitting the guard. That's what splitting the guard is.
Or goes on to say, he goes on to say, I think I might be saying that as far as animation goes, the block is literally being split in the. No, that's E-Boxing agreed with what I was saying. Orion says, why does the time in and then I asked Siri, what time is it in the UK? It's 12:17 a.m. So I said, okay, well, you could come on then. There we go. We put the link there, Oren. Like as I'm saying, the reason, like I'm not trying to say he's wrong or anything, but the point is that as long as I'm arguing with somebody in the live chat, things are gonna get lost in translation. It's easier to just say it.
Yeah, it's best for you to say it because even when you come on the show, because we got a lot of people be watching, 44 people, but it ain't no 44 people in the chat. So we don't know who's watching. So you can get your voice heard. That's why I be telling y'all, come on the show so y'all can be heard.
Or we put the link in the YouTube. And if you want, I could show the Word document again. Whatever is easier. But anyways, while we're waiting for Oren, so going back to the video, that little test thing. So you agree that when so the whole idea for me, the whole idea is that the block meter had to be empty in order for that to happen. But when it happened, is that splitting the guard?
Yeah, it's splitting the guard no matter how it's visually. See, people, they get mixed up with reality with fighting game mechanics. Just eliminate that we're even talking about meters. Because once we start talking about meters, then it start that fighting game mentality. So you're breaking the guard. If it wasn't no meter in there, you see you punching through the guard or you bat, and you finally got through, you broke the guard. But block breaking is basically the same thing to me. All day long, it's basically the same thing to me.
But okay, if you're saying if you're saying splitting the guard and block breaking are the same, it's the same to you, right?
Yes, to me.
Does block breaking mean something different in video game terms? If you just think video game.
With some people, it's when your arms start getting the wear and tear. Like the arm fatigue and stuff like that. They call that block break. It depends on the person. It said you got to sign up. That's the first.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Or that's not. No, you don't have to sign up, man. Try it again. There's something you probably have to look around. You don't have to sign up. It's public. Here, let me test it out quick. Hold on. The link you put in the hold on.
In the Discord.
Let me see if I can. Let me see what it's saying.
It should have brought you right. It should have brought them right to it. There you go.
No, there he is. There he is. There he is. Okay, there we go.
Uh,
Let me check it out. Let's put it in, hold on.
Corey, you cares?
Yeah.
What's up, Oren?
What's up? You good?
Yes, I'm very good. So, like, going back to what we were talking about, so in the video, the
Yeah.
test was I have to drain the block. I have to because I'm playing within that's how the game works. So yeah, the block meter has to be empty, but the results was you're arguing that the jabs and the straights were splitting the guard or not splitting the guard.
I think you've got the argument confused. Like block breaking is when you have a block meter and you punch it down to empty, and then you can start to land your shots. Like on UFC 5, that's block breaking. Splitting the guard would be if it's physics based, or if you do have block meter and I punch and the punch can still go through your guard.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how did you define block breaking again?
Block breaking is when you have a block meter, you throw shots at the guard to deplete the block meter to empty, and now you can land your shots, like on UFC 5, UFC 4, UFC 3.
So after you empty the block, you're saying that it's still within the same instance. Then it's not two separate things are happening. That one you're emptying, you're block breaking, but the end result is you're not going through the guard. It's still considered block breaking, even though I'm throwing the jab and the straight and it's going through the guard.
I'm confused what you mean. You mean after you've depleted the block to get the shots to land, that's now block breaking?
Okay, so let's break it. Is it one activity or two activities?
They
Or is
happen
it sorry, not activity. Is it one instance or two instances that's happening?
simultaneous. You punch at the guard until it's empty, then you continue to punch to land your shots. Block breaking.
Is that one instance or two instances? Or are you saying it's only one instance?
One action.
Huh?
There are two things in one action. You play UFC 5, you should know what block breaking is.
I play UFC 5, but we're talking about Undisputed. But you're saying there's two instances or one? So here, okay, hold on. Let me explain. I'm saying there's two instances. The first instance is the act of me hitting that guard over and over until the meter is empty. The second instance is now that I know that I have now that I know his block is empty. Now I'm punching through the guard. That's the second instance.
That's block breaking. It's one sequence, two actions, one sequence.
Okay. So that's where we agree to disagree. You're saying it's one sequence, and I'm saying you're saying it's one instance, and I'm saying it's actually two instances. So
we'd have to agree to disagree. But if you listen to anybody who plays UFC, or if you play UFC yourself, you'll know that block breaking is you attack the guard, the block is empty, now your shots get through.
and what happens if it's not empty?
Shots don't get through on UFC, and they definitely don't get through on Undisputed.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
but isn't that an arcade mechanic?
I didn't put it in the game.
No, I'm just saying. Isn't it an arcade mechanic?
I haven't been asking for block breaking this whole time. You guys keep saying I am. I'm not. I've asked for physics-based blocking with manual blocking. I've never once asked for a block meter.
I didn't see. Being that you on here, you relay that better. We probably misunderstood you.
So
I have a whole half-an-hour video where I go into in-depth detail on this, but people cherry pick little moments and then say, "No, you want block breaking." I'm like, "No, I've never once said that."
the people in your own comments said it too, man.
No, that's disingenuous of you. That's very disingenuous of you. You cherry picked one comment out of 150, and that was one negative comment, and then you didn't go on what I responded to him.
Okay, so
that's right.
Out of 100, okay.
The overwhelming comments in that video agree with me. Check for yourself. That's not me being biased. Check for yourself.
So out of the 100, okay, so out of 150 comments.
148.
How many comments? 148. Yes, I want to be exact. In 148.
Mm-hmm.
How many comments do I have to find out of the 148 to say that that the community is actually saying it's against you? Then, in terms of what you're saying about blocking, do I have to go 50%? Can I go 40%?
No, 50%. This would be 90%.
You want 50%?
The video itself has a 97.9% like rate. I'm not going to go through every single individual comment to pick out and then do statistics, but it is overwhelming the majority. Look for yourself, agreeing with me. As for what that guy said when he was like, no, you turned into a headhunter, you missed my response to him. You didn't see how it all actually translated. Because the block strength increased, people were now blocking more. And then they adapted this style where they will walk you down and stay right in front of you. So you have to throw more shots to get them off you. And then the third thing is, when they implemented the new block, they said specifically excessive blocking will be a detriment to you. So you should be able to now punch through their block. So that was me testing that out, but he didn't pick up on that nuance.
So let me ask you, when you were testing out, were you splitting the guard or were you block breaking?
Would I split in the guard? I was trying to split the guard. I don't know how to block break on this game. It doesn't work.
But you just said I was block breaking.
Yes, because I told you what you were doing was block breaking. Because
you just contradicted yourself. I hope you know that.
Let me explain, bro. Exactly
Yeah,
what
explain. Go ahead and explain. Explain.
Is that his guard regenerating your stamina, then throwing punches at his guard again? You didn't make him release his guard, so his block meter would go back up. That's block breaking. Nobody's going to stand there and let their block meter deplete and then not release block so it can go back up. That's what you were doing. That's the
not
difference.
true.
That's exactly
that's
true.
Not true. That's true. When a person in this video game, if you have a guy, if you're walking a guy down and he knows he's gonna think and he starts to panic, he's gonna hold that fucking guard because there's nothing else left for him to do. It's his last resort to try to get knocked out. He's gonna hold that guard and all the panic. That's what's gonna happen.
And it's supposed to realistically.
No, but Orton, going back to what I was saying, you said I was block breaking, but when you did it, it's not block breaking.
Because I can explain the difference to what I was doing. If you watch my video, I would throw combinations until I ran out of stamina. I would release the block button for my opponent, and then I'd let my stamina regen, and then I would continue it again.
Okay. Anyways, the fact of how I did it, you're saying on a technical, on a formal any level, what I was demonstrating is not splitting the guard.
To me, it's block breaking. If you think that's splitting the guard, because now
visually, what you looked at, visually what you're looking at, if that's splitting the guard, visually.
When you punch
splitting the
guard, that's splitting the guard. Some people would call it block breaking too, but it's splitting the guard.
It is definitely block breaking. He only got through because he didn't have a block meter left. That's the definition of block breaking. Splitting the guard would be if you didn't have a block meter and shots could get through.
But you
okay, so let me ask you this.
But you telling me that's block breaking. I boxed.
Bro,
I've been around.
The only person in the world that's ever boxed, bro. And nobody.
No, what I'm saying is, I know, but I'm saying I'm going by what I know from boxing. I'm not trying to down you or anything, but I'm saying I'm going by. We call that punching through the guard.
You don't have a block meter in real life. What you talking about, bro?
No, you don't have a. That's basically I was saying that. That's the first thing I said. We don't. I hate that we got block meters. We have
so all the same thing then.
Yeah, but it's we all supposed to. That's the thing. All of us talk and we see what we're talking about. Even the developers that's watching this, they know what we're talking about. I'm not trying to down you. I just want to see how you think.
No, you know what it is. What I know is a lot of YouTube content creators, they'll easily get offended because the whole idea is that. Oh yeah, you think about how you came on the show. You okay? You good? You're getting offended when you're just coming to have banter. That's all it is.
No, I don't like the disingenuous way you try to portray my arguments, and I also don't like the insulting way you have been in the comments over the last couple of days. Also, I'm not offended. What did you say?
Yes, you are. Listen, you are offended, man. Listen to what you're saying.
What did you say right before I came on? Oh, I need to check. It's not your bedtime. And then What did you do the other day?
That yo, that's a yo. Okay, yo, that's a yo. You need to have thicker skin, man. That's a running. That's just a running gag because every time we tell you to come on the show, you always say that you're working or something. So that's all it is, man. You got it. Yo, let that roll off your back, man. Fuck.
One, we're not friends. I don't know you. Two, this isn't the first occasion. I've had to tell you in multiple comments on my videos, chill out, man, and just calm down because you'll come with some toxic, like aggressive attitude, and I have to tell you to just chill out.
Like what? Say what I say.
Other day, you called me a liar on your podcast, yeah, bro, and then tried to make out like I was scared and intimidated. Come on, all the time while I'm literally at work, and you'll say, "No, you're a liar. You just don't want to come on." Then you went as far to let's Google the liquor times in UK. He works in a club. I don't work in a club, bro. I never told you that. You don't know me.
Well, you're here now.
Y'all got that out your system, man. Y'all, we a community. It's just
are we a community? Because respectfully, bro, it seems like you guys are hostile towards any other YouTuber except for yourselves.
Me, Poe.
Dude, this guy is so angry, guy. He doesn't know what he's saying, man. He's angry as fuck. He's angry as fuck, man. This is ego, man. Basically, this is an example where you can't everything he has to say has to be the truth. He can't go back and forth and figure and come to another conclusion. Nothing. He's angry.
I don't attack nobody. If I'm joking, I'm joking, but I don't attack nobody unless it's like Will Kinsler or Steel City. I'm gonna attack them. But y'all, I'm not gonna really attack y'all.
Okay, bro.
I never came on and attack you. If
Oren,
it was in jokes or fun.
Oren, two things to be aware of. If look what people are saying about you in the YouTube chat.
I'm not watching the YouTube chat, bro.
Well, I'm just saying this is how angry you are. You're so freaking angry, you're not even aware.
Okay, bro. I don't really care, to be honest, bro.
Yes,
I don't care. If I'm on a way,
you do care, guys. You do care because you do care.
I don't care if you're on. If I'm
you
on a way.
care about my opinion of you. If you didn't care about my opinion, you wouldn't have said all those things about all.
I don't care about your opinion of me. I just want your opinion of me to be correct, bro. I don't want you spreading misinformation about me. Same way you wouldn't want me to spread misinformation about you if you'd like me or not.
So the misinformation is about what you were doing 12 in the morning. That's one. What's the other misinformation?
You called me a liar, bro? As if we're friends.
About what?
Bro.
A liar about what? About what? Come on, dude, spit it out. About what? If you knew I called you a liar about something, you would have said it. You wouldn't be fucking fumbling. Figure it out. What did I say you lied about?
What are you talking about? You called me a liar the other day. You said that I wasn't at work. I was at work.
So okay, we're back to the work thing. So you can't just take that as a gag.
That's not a gag, bro. What was the joke in that? What was the joke in that, bro? Where was the joke?
The joke was we're running a show and we're asking you to come on and you're saying something and I said, okay, well, whatever I said, yeah, this guy's joking. You know what I mean?
There was no joke there, bro.
So okay, so let me ask you this: why does that offend you? I'm just curious now.
Why does what offend you that you called me a liar?
A liar about your whereabouts? That offends you?
You called me a liar under the pretense that I was scared or afraid to come on the show. And then you're attacking my character as if I'm scared to come on the show. And then you went further. He's like, no, I'm pressing you as if like you guys are intimidating to me or like you can do me something, bro.
you wanna go on that path? Or anyways,
no,
let me ask you this. Dude, you don't understand. What you just said, the last thing you said in your mouth, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, anyways, let me ask you this.
Go on.
Tell me about physics-based blocking. What are your expectations of physics-based blocking?
What do you mean, my expectations?
You brought up the topic about physics-based blocking. You want physics. So what is physics-based blocking? What does it look like in a boxing game?
Well, it would be closer to what we had during early access, closer to what we had at the 1.0 release, and kind of similar to what's in Fight Night Champion if you remove the ability to pump block.
Yeah, but you're
Basically,
saying what we had,
when
Can you substantiate what you're saying? Give me some. What
I
exactly does it look like?
didn't make the Game Boy, it's more or less basically where your arm isn't, the shot can get through, more or less.
Where your arm? Say it again.
So where your arm isn't blocking, the shot will get through. If you understand, this is why we had the problem with the long body uppercuts, because where the arms weren't blocking, they were sneaking in the gap. So they had to change the color. That's why we get the very awkward block where you're crouched over now, blocking the body.
So if we had blocking physics, how would that? So you're saying with blocking physics that would affect the? So you're talking about the power body uppercut. You're talking about defending that.
I'm I'm confused with how you want me to answer the question.
Okay, so we're talking about physics-based block, and you made mention to it. The example you gave us about you said about some kind of the body. You're talking about a power body uppercut.
Yeah, the reason why that was a problem in early access is because we had physics-based blocking, so it kept sneaking in the gap where your arms weren't able to protect.
So with physics-based blocking, what would be the effect now of like against the power body uppercut?
I don't know, but if they did implemented it properly, so there wasn't holes in it that could be exploited, it would be better. I think personally, that's my preference. I liked it in 1.0. Some people didn't like it in 1.0, but that's my.
Here's the thing. Right now, with the power body uppercut, can with the current block we have, just the block meter shit we have right now, can that block it?
Yeah, I believe some sneak through, but I think for the most part, it does block it. Yeah,
Some sneak through.
I believe so.
Is the one that sneak through? Is that an exploit or is that splitting the guard?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I haven't done enough.
Well, it's a good question, right?
Yeah, it's a good
Because
question.
you said something sneaking through, right? So I'm gonna say that's an example of splitting the guard. But it
That
feels,
would be.
but me personally, when I use when I use the power body uppercut, it feels like an exploit to a certain extent.
If it gets through and it's supposed to get through, that would be splitting guard. But if it's not and it's getting through, then it would be an exploit.
So let me ask you this about we're talking about physics-based blocking. Actually, we'll go back to that after. The block itself. So let's say we were to get rid of the concept of a blocking meter. What can we replace it with? If we were to get rid of that concept they're using right now.
Well, if you had physics-based blocking and manual blocking together, then we wouldn't need the meter at all.
Well, the manual blocking would take care of everything because that everything's it's the player's responsibility. But what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, let's just say we didn't have manual blocking, but we have to live with the block meter or get rid of the block meter. How do you envision the concept of splitting the guard in that case? Then how would you do it? Because one thing that comes to my mind is that if we have to keep a block meter, and it feels almost like to split the guard, it might be random.
You said this yesterday, and I disagree because at 1.0 you could split guard and it wasn't random. I could throw an exact punch, and let's say 9 out of 10 times it would go through.
9 out of 10 times they'll go through. So that's like a low frequency of splitting the guard, then, right?
I'd say that's a high. If I throw the punch 9 out of 10
sorry,
times,
no, you said 9. Okay, yeah, 9 out of 10. That's okay. That's like 90% then. But no, but you say, but that's not the case right now in the game, right?
No.
Because of the block meter. But let's just we're going back to. Let me reframe it. If we had a block, okay, let's reframe it. We have a block meter in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you split the guard that while working with a block meter? Like, how would that look like? How would you do it in a game? Like, what would they have to do?
We did have it in 1.0. We had simultaneously a block meter and you could split guard. I'm not a developer of the game, so I don't know the technicals of how it works. But if you remember 1.0, you could split guard and they did have the block meter also.
But the thing with, okay, so you're talking about version 1.0?
Yeah.
The only thing with 1.0, what I remember was that it seemed like for example, a lot of guys were using Wilder and they're throwing that the power a power hook to the head, the power right hook to the head.
The overhand.
At that point at version 1.0, nothing, I don't think nothing could block it. Like you could not even like nothing. It just kept on going through the block, or I guess it's in that case it's not split, it's going around the guard, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It wasn't like you would throw it 100 times and 100 times it would get through. It could be blocked. It just would depend on the range that it was thrown at. Also, there were other problems during that period that contributed to why that was such a problem, because you had those mini hit stuns that would hold you in place, plus you had unlimited stamina so you could throw as many power shots as you wanted, and then we don't have a vulnerability system so you can catch these people while they're spamming. I don't think it was just as simple as Wilder can spam over and it's getting through.
You're correct about that. There was that issue with the stun, and sometimes the stun would freeze your controller and you couldn't even move nothing. So I remember that in version 1.0.
You could get hit with that like 2-3 times in a row as well.
Right. But going back to the block, is it possible to have a block meter? Forget about version 1.0. Can you really have a block meter system and split the guard with that concept of a block meter?
I feel like those two ideas like contradict each other, don't they? But it was in 1.0. Like there wouldn't be a point of having a block meter if punches still get through.
So it was in 1.0, but was it executed properly? I don't know. I think the fact that they moved away from it after, but a lot of it had to do with the stun. But here's the thing: if we forget about manual blocking, what would be another way that they could develop the game so you could split the guard?
The only other way would be physics-based blocking, wouldn't it? So if your arm is not defending the area that the punch lands, it will land.
Okay. Say it again.
So if your arm, say like you're doing a high guard, so if my punch comes around the back of your high guard and lands, so if your arm isn't defending the place the punch lands.
No hooks. We're not trying to go around the guard. We're just going straight through it, like right through the uprights.
Like
for a jab or straight.
Yeah, a jab can split a high guard. It will go straight through the middle, won't it?
Yes.
Right, but what I'm saying, okay, but what I'm saying is, okay, if we get rid of the concept, let's just say this concept of the block meter came from Fight Night Champion. Let's just say that's where we saw it in Fight Night Champion as well, right?
Arcade. And then it's an arcade system. It's arcade system.
And then Undisputed copied it into this game now. But what I'm saying, what can we like? I realize, okay, manual blocking is the answer, right? But what else can we do besides, like, if we were just coming up with a bunch of recommendations, what can we do to get rid of the block meter and still not invoke manual blocking? How can we design the game?
They could just get rid of the block meters. It could be behind the scenes or offline if people choose it, but it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't be. Everything should be visual. You see the person. You see how he look like he's deteriorating, his arms dropping a little bit and stuff like that. That's what it should have been.
What would you guys call Claimer's blocking system? Would you call that manual blocking?
He has 3 kind of blocks that you could enjoy, but also he does have manual blocking.
Yeah, 12 different.
I saw manual blocking.
Yeah, but to me, it's also physics-based blocking, because he says if you use a high guard, you can pop them with a jab through the middle. Then you use a tight guard to stop that from happening. So he's using physics and math together.
Yeah, he's doing a hybrid. I picked that too. I'm glad I'm not the only person that saw that. He's using a hybrid.
So wait,
he's not saying.
So wait, going back to the Poe. What is physics-based blocking to you in a boxing video game?
It's like when you throw a punch, it could box off the gloves or box through the gloves or go around. like Fight Night Champion. It does that.
But is that
It's like
are you
a
talking about
hybrid. It's
deflecting?
a
You sound like
hybrid.
deflecting and parrying.
Yeah, that's like if you throw a punch, it like hit like if you really threw a punch, it'll like glance off your glove, or it might hit your arm and go around your arm, depending on how it hit your arm and stuff like that. That's physics based. That's what I see it as.
I would agree with that.
You agree or
But how does
disagree?
that? But how does that apply in terms of splitting the guard now?
Yeah, go
Because
right through the glove.
right through the go around the guard.
It's just gonna go through the. It's just gonna go straight
But
through.
I don't think like if a person got a good high guard, I'm gonna use Winky right again, even though he got losses on his record, but majority of the time people didn't punch through his guard immediately. That's what some people want. They want if you hit a person with a jab, it automatically breaks through their guard, and that shouldn't be the factor. It should be after a while you should be able to break through their guard or
So then,
split the guard.
so then maybe the CSI's the concept of the block meter, maybe they got it wrong then. In terms of the block meter is more of a, it's more like a block stamina as opposed to a block health bar then.
Yeah.
Definitely got the
You know what I'm
block
saying?
bar because it doesn't even deplete properly. And I've never seen anybody empty someone's block to the point where they can't block anymore. Even though that's arcade, that is the sort of idea that the block meter should have. I did my video. I don't know if you saw. At the end of the video, I landed 600 punches against his guard, and it still wasn't empty.
So then the block doesn't have a fatigue system then.
Exactly, they haven't done it correctly.
Yeah, and my thing is like a lot of people saying it'd be unfair for boxers to have like their real like stats to their blocking and stuff. No, it's not. In fighting games, you have people that they're strong at something. They're powerful in something. But when it comes to boxing or a sports game, everybody wants things to be like a fighting game. But it's not a fighting game. You're not using the same rules. So it's like they like trying to make boxing something totally different on purpose.
Let me ask you this. So if we were to go back to this whole block meter, if we were to get rid of the right now it's like a stamina meter, right?
Yeah.
If we were to turn it into a fatigue meter instead, just like the health bar system in the game where you keep on thinking and then you don't get your health back, so now it keeps on getting lower and lower, and it'll be easier to punch through. What happens when the block is totally fatigued and you can't? Is it a matter now you have to program? You can't raise your arms up there because your arms are too tired.
Barely, yeah. That's how it should look.
And then of course,
the ideology behind that would be similar what Rocky Marciano used to do, where he would purposely aim at people's arms so they couldn't lift them in the later rounds.
same with Canelo does the same shit too.
A lot of boxers, we taught that too. To punch the arms, especially if somebody muscular or something like that, you punch them in their muscles. That makes them not able to throw punches in the later rounds.
But going back, does splitting the guard apply to physics-based blocking?
Splitting,
yes,
yeah, it does.
So here's the thing. I don't know why I don't see it, but when I think about physics-based block, I think about pulling on the guard. I'm thinking about catching the punch. I'm thinking all those kind of things with the block instead.
Yeah, pulling the guard, that's a totally different defensive measure. What you're doing. That's something totally different. It's like a whole different conversation. Because when you manipulate the guard, you actually throwing punches to break the guard. That's something different.
Yeah,
or do you think? Sorry,
yeah, carry on. I was just going to say, face blocking is like closer to what you have in real life. So if your arms aren't protecting that area, the shot can get through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a better way.
So okay, so that being said, now, Oren, in order to have a proper split the guard system, do you think that we have to have another system in place where you're actually, when I say aiming the punches, and it might come off arcade, but a way you could target, like almost like when you're playing the wrestling games and you tell it I hold the modifier and I want to target his arm. I want to target his leg. I want to target his head and keep on damaging it. Is that something you think we need in a boxing where you could actually tell it? I know we have directional punching, but something like a true targeting system where you could zero in on something. In this case, you're looking for the holes. You're looking for the holes in the guard to zero in on.
I think that's what happens in real life, in real boxing, but I think that's like a nuance that doesn't really translate to a game where you can specifically pinpoint an area.
Yeah.
How
Do you
even
think?
that into the game?
Do you think it's a nuance because of the camera view? We're playing it more like in a 2D space. What if we were to play it over the shoulder by default? Then we're seeing everything now. It's almost closer to FPS.
Closer to real boxing, but then again, how do you program it into the game so I can specifically aim for this eye because it's cut, or aim for your nose because it's bleeding? How do you program that?
Right. So I'm trying to look at the WWE 2K and how you could. There's a modifier button where you could specifically tell it, I want to attack this body part. What I'm trying to figure, can that apply to a boxing game? Can I say I'm specifically gonna attack this guy's right forearm? Could I say I'm gonna purposely attack this guy's a certain part of his body until I wear it down? Like, can we do that in a boxing game with a modifier? Like, we're specifically targeting.
I suppose how it would translate in a game would be if you want to target the center of the face, you throw straight shots. If you want to target the sides of the face, you throw hooks, or you circle around as you're punching.
Yeah, like when you want to punch in the kidneys or something, it's your angles.
Yeah,
Which we had in the early game. You could do better angles than what they have in the game now. A lot of people don't speak on that. It was a lot of angles that was going in that game. Like Loma looked at more better. People say, "Oh, Loma look good now." No, he looked at much better in the earlier version of the game. Yeah, so
Yo, Blaster X1, you mentioned that what we need in Undisputed is a fatigue system for the arms.
yeah,
we
got that. I thought it's already in the game.
they did have it.
I know.
What happened?
They did have it, but they removed it. It wasn't translating well. Like your arm started from jabbing, and then it just wasn't one.
See that's what's wrong with the code. That's what's messed up the code because they keep taking things out, and there's a lot of holes inside the program, and stuff collapsing. It's like literally collapsing. They're doing too much. They're taking out too many things. I can name almost 50 things they don't took out the game already, and that's crazy. That's crazy. And people keep saying they're a new team. Nah, stop saying that. Stop saying it because they have veterans on their team. Can't keep saying that. After the first year, that disappeared.
I've never seen a game get glazed more than this game. And then it's so undeserving because the way that they have treated us is actually disgusting if you think about it. Do you remember that 4 months they went completely ghost and didn't say anything?
Yeah.
Dad, the first time I noticed that,
you saying this, Dad, you caught me off guard.
Hey, the first time I noticed when they did it was with the last round bug and tallying the scorecards, and that went on for over 2 months.
Yeah, disgusting.
Two fucking months, and they never, like, it's like, and I always make this thing that you play a baseball game, you ain't scoring the inning. You're playing a football game, we ain't gonna score the last quarter. Football, basketball, any sport we talk about, we're not scoring. But in this game, they did it for 2 months, and there was and I can't understand how that could happen for 2 months. To me, it's an easy fix. It shouldn't take 2 fucking months to fix the scoring and that thing. But what they were doing is they have a release schedule. All they give the fuck about is the release schedule coincides with the DLC release date. That's all they were doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like it was just really man, I would just like to know the snakes that work there, kind of thing. Like what the fuck's going on?
Once they start getting shareholders, once they got shareholders, that's when everything went down the hill. Shareholders,
but it tells you.
publishers.
But it tells you something that if the fact that they let that happen for 2 months, it means they don't even know. To me, they didn't see it was a problem. But the boxing, they didn't even know. They probably don't even know how to score the game. Then, like, I don't get it. Like, why did that go on for 2 months?
They don't.
Think that
The
they
team
even-
go ahead.
I honestly doubt that they even really play this game. I guarantee I know more about this game than the developers do because I guarantee I played it more than them. There's
I believe
problems.
you, too.
Remember,
Well,
Even when I see them in the Discord, you see them playing other games. You used to see it in the beginning because it looks good. I know how it works when people be like even with Brizzledom and stuff, they used to play their games. And they said on our downtime, we might play something up, but we play the games. They was playing on Fight Night Champion and stuff like that.
Well, going back to what Oren was saying, look at the last update that came out. They came out with an update, and then they had to come up with 2 hot fixes to fix a hot fix, and then 2 hot fixes to fix the hot fix. I've never seen that. I've never seen that, and
that's a comedy act.
And what gets me too is when you look in the patch notes, they don't even tell you the full story. They don't tell you what they did. They're lying, or if they said they fixed something, they didn't fix it. Like, case in point, something they didn't mention in the patch notes. So we're on version 2.05, right? When 2.0 came out, there was I'll just stick with version 2.05. There's a patch note there. They never told the community that okay, when you flash KO somebody, we're gonna remove the cinematic scene now. They removed it for flash to the body, flash to the head. It's gone now. It goes straight to the victory screen. And the reason why they most likely did it, and they should be transparent, is because that was a way to quick glitch. By removing that animation scene, that's most likely how they resolve the quick glitch for that specific scenario. But why don't they put it in the fucking patch notes?
they didn't even put in the patch notes when they introduced the new knockout and stun system. You would just play the game and think it's a glitch or a bug. It's like, was supposed to happen? I don't know. And until everybody was saying, yo, this keeps happening, they've implemented a new thing in the game. They do this all the time.
Yeah,
So
they're very unprofessional. That's what I would be saying about the way they do things is very unprofessional.
But Paul, who do you think's writing the patch notes?
I want to blame it on Will, but it's probably somebody under him. Is one of his fledglings.
I think they don't include things in the patch notes, so if they go wrong, they can remove them without anybody knowing. So there's no paper trail.
I'm glad you said that. That's why they stopped doing the round tables. That's what we was talking about. They didn't want to put themselves out there with expectations, and then they don't have nothing to cover up behind themselves. Yeah.
Hey, Oren, what do you think about the Crown League?
When it first started,
or have you tried to get in, seeing you're a content creator?
No, I leave them to. That's what they do. How I thought about it at the beginning, I didn't think they were playing the game in the right way, but they were saying that they were. So I was like, oh, this is just another example of people have different ideas of what sim is. Because if you watched the final, there was one fight where someone threw 450 hooks and somebody turned Roy Jones Jr. southpaw, stuff like that. But the new Crown League, I actually was going to make a video because I think they're actually doing really good for the community. They're very strict on the rules and they do go out the way to make sure the game is played in the correct way and they hold people accountable. And I actually think they're doing a good job right now.
But do you feel like the Crown community, this is what's gonna? I think one of the things Jay, he had a video a couple weeks ago. He's saying that this is their way of trying to save Undisputed. Do you think that's really the case?
This is literally the only thing that is saving the game. No content creator is making content for Undisputed. It doesn't get you views, and it's not an enjoyable game to play and make content for. If they didn't have the Crown League, Undisputed would be eaten up by Fight Night Forever and the mods right now.
I think Fight Night. Okay, I think Fight Night Forever, Fight Night Champ. I think that's a lot of it's nostalgia to a certain extent. I think the fact is that nobody gives a shit to play Champion all this time. A lot of people don't even know Champion exists, I think, but they're all playing this game Forever and Revival like it's a remake or it's like the first time they're actually playing it. But the thing is, it's there. Like, how many content creators you actually saw prior to Revival coming out that took the time to go on Xbox and play Champion? Nobody. The only person who does it is Lux Vision. He's like he's like one of the original guys I've seen do that.
That is true. I myself stopped playing Fight Night Champion when Undisputed released on early access. But the only reason for that was not because I wasn't enjoying the game. It's because I was sick of the game. I'd been playing it for like 10 years straight at that point, and I was ready for something. So when they came with this mod, like I said in my message a couple of days ago, I'm not expecting this to be a revolutionary game that changes the whole industry. For me, this is just a fresh retake on a game that I used to enjoy.
But going back to this whole Crown League, I don't know why, but I don't see it saving Undisputed, because the thing is, it seems like Crown League is being sponsored by Steel City Interactive. So like whatever sponsorship, maybe prize, all that stuff, it's filtering through the Crown League, and then the Crown League's trying to get all the different little, like, what's the other league they're a partnership with? They're getting all the guys to fight from those leagues, but only taking the top guys who win the tournament, and then they get to fight the Crown creators after, right? What I'm thinking is, if they really wanted to save Undisputed, why didn't Steel City partner with the actual leagues? The leagues that have all the, like, what's that league right now? Is Undisputed Championship? Is it the UFL? What's it called? It's a UFL? Yeah. Why didn't it make the partnership partner with them specifically, saying they have a roster of over 1,000 fighters?
Yeah, that's what I was confused about when the Crown League got sponsored straight away, because it just felt like sort of like nepotism. Because like JMMA is a game tester already. He's a content creator. Let's give him the league. But there was already pre-established leagues way before the Crown League. So I was like, I wonder why they chose them.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like you just have to partner with the, I don't know, man. It's strange, but yeah, you're right about nepotism. That's what's going on. At the end of the day, the Crown, the people have to see the other. There's so many lenses to see with this Crown League, but one of the lenses is this is just a tool for the group of content creators to keep them trending, to keep their hits going. That's how I'm kind of seeing it right now.
If you think about it, the content creators are also the game testers, and they're the same people that were invited to Vegas, and they're the same people that got their league sponsored. They're very clearly cherry picking specific individuals they want to prop up.
True. But my thing is, what are they with all these different leagues? Who do they actually choose to go? Are the people in charge of these leagues? They're making these leagues so they can go instead of the people that's actually winning. You know, that's what I'm wondering. Because a lot of people really think they're going just because they're the head of the group. And that's not how Steel City gonna let it go down.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how they've been choosing. But the people that did go, it's not like they didn't deserve to go either. It's like JMMA is a big content creator in the space. iGame you watch and all them. It's not like they didn't deserve to go, but let's not make out like the opportunity was given to everybody.
Exactly. It was marketing. Marketing. That was free marketing, because they was hoping that JMMA them came back. They talked about it and they keep Undisputed alive. That was their whole thing of doing that.
How do we define deserve? How do you define deserve? What is that? What is the checklist that if you deserve to be in that league?
I'd say to be in a league.
And that specifically, if we're saying deserve, if we're saying the people were deserving to be in the league.
Well, to be in the league, I think anyone is deserving to be in the league. I think they should have a tournament, and then based on who wins, that's who's in the actual league. But for the event, the Las Vegas event, I do think it needs to be notable people that have ground and actually push the game forward, sort of thing. Like, I don't think they should be just for the general league, be cherry picking who they do and do not want in the league based on the fact that it's the official Undisputed league. You can't give a content creator with his own biases that power. That's unfair, isn't it? Because that means some people are going to miss out just because they don't get on with content creators in that group.
But that's the
And
case. That's what happened.
I know specifically people who have DM'd me that aren't in that league because they don't get on with certain people, and they've said they're not allowed in.
Wow.
I think the ultimate the ultimate qualification for that league is your subscription list. How big is your subscriber list? And that goes back to Poe when you were talking about marketing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's
I don't
a marketing
know,
tool.
but yeah, everybody trying to screen, see how many people you got. If you're a good marketing tool for them.
Oh, it was definitely about marketing with the Vegas event. The guy named Trey Soul, or whatever his name is, no offense to him, he's a cool guy, but he doesn't really make undisputed content like that. He's just a big channel. Like, you could have added Crooks the Great or Marvelous, other people that were deserving to be there who actually grind the undisputed game. That was all
And,
about
and Marvelous lives in friggin' the UK.
Yeah, Marvelous was invited to one show before, though. I remember.
Yeah. Yo, that's it's weird to me though. It's like it's like Steel City trying to find a way to spend money on everything except for the doggone game. Yo,
I think they know that the game can't be saved. That's why.
What'd you say?
I think they know that the game can't be saved, and they have such a long time until Undisputed 2 can come out that they have to do things like this.
Yeah. Because Ash, but this what I was saying. Ash literally told everybody the game was broke at that event.
He literally said, and it needs to be going back to the building blocks and built from the beginning again.
Yeah,
literally
he said that developers are saying what they didn't know what was going. Say what is that y'all got? So that right there, people should have been like, "Oh, the game broke. I ain't buying nothing up," but they scared not to support it because they think boxing is gonna go away. No, it's a lot of people trying to make boxing games. It's just some I can't talk about, but it's a lot of people making boxing games. Or they thinking about it. They thinking about it real hard.
The person who
a lot of money.
The person who should be most happy is Claimer because they have set him up for the perfect alley-oop because his game is going to clean up. All he has to do is make that game look good and sim, and he will make so much money from that game because they have dropped the ball.
Yo, 100%.
Dude, hey, do you think now that they saw what Claimer is cooking, you think Undisputed 2 is gonna start to bring those ideas in?
I think they're
trying to cut them off.
I think they're going to be on the clock to try to get Undisputed out too before Claimer's game. Because if they don't, they're going to lose money.
Because as soon as Claimers start really getting traction, it's going to go downhill for them.
Because their reputation is completely damaged. Completely damaged.
Oh, yeah.
The sales they get on Undisputed 2 won't be anywhere near close to Undisputed 1.
You see what Luck said about Crooks? He said F Crooks. I stand on that. Yo.
Yeah, man. A lot of people, I don't know what it is about. Like, I like to watch Crooks content just like for news and stuff. But a lot of people, I don't know what he does to tick them off. But yo, Lux also said Marvelous One once he wasn't invited. Why he makes a ton of content Undisputed.
Yeah, he felt some type of way because I talked to him.
He wasn't invited to Las Vegas, but he went to a show in England. I remember.
Actually, I remember something leading up to that Vegas. I remember he made this big announcement that he was in some kind of in secret communications with Steel City, and he was about to become something. Something he was alluding to, and I don't know what happened from there.
He even messaged me on like, "Do you want to link up for like this thing I've got coming? Stay tuned." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." But nothing came of it. So
that would have been good because you and Marvelous in the UK. Are y'all far from each other?
We're literally from the same place.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Because when you say UK, people saying the UK and jump, that's a big place. I've been to the UK. I fought over there. Now this, I can ask you, the Isle of Jersey, is that part of the UK?
Yeah, it's a part of the United Kingdom. Yeah.
Exactly. What's called Gub was trying to say it's not. He said, no,
Which part?
It's not. It's called the Isle of Jersey. I live in New Jersey. but that's the olive jersey. It's like Jersey versus Jersey when I went over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, went over there. I got a lot of money with it. It's like a lot of rich people over there on the olive jersey. It's like like communities over there.
Yeah, it's a secluded area.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yo,
oh, go ahead.
no, go.
Yeah, even when I was like we was going to like restaurants and stuff, they was paying for our food. They was giving us money and stuff. Like, good golly, I like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yo, Oren. So the early access came out what in 2022? Was around 2022, and then the game wasn't, and prior to that, it was already in 2 years development. So let's just say 2022 this is the beta, and now we're in 2020.
But that game should have been done 2022. The game should have been finished. It's
Well, here's the thing.
I know why it's not wasn't finished. We all know.
Well, here's the thing. From 2020 from 2024 when it was released up to now. So, Oren, would you say that Steel City has a right not to make any developmental updates, and that's excluding the DLC? I'm talking about development, like real, they're enhancing the development of the game. They're doing something to change the game, kind of thing, and they haven't done none of it besides DLC and tuner updates or balancing updates, which is not the same thing. Do you think that they scammed the community by doing that? Because the thing is, if the game was in development so long and it's been a whole year and we haven't seen anything yet, do you think that they're scamming the community and they should be fixing the problems with the game right now instead of pushing the narrative? Okay, wait until Undisputed 2 comes out.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely scamming the community because they know they can't fix the game. Ash has actually said, but they won't come out and officially say that because they don't want people to give up on the game and they still want to DLC. I'm just waiting for them. The final nail is in the coffin. We're not going to be able to fix this game. You're going to have to wait for Undisputed 2.
Yeah, me too. I see that coming at least this month or next month because the fan base is going to like really shrink. What's up, A Smooth? A Smooth here.
And the offensive thing is that they released the Championship Edition. The Championship Edition is supposed to be when you've perfected your game. It can't be worse than the original product. That doesn't make any sense.
I see people in the Reddit refer to, I have the Championship Edition and all of that. They're talking as if that this is supposed to be the enhanced version, and they don't get it. It was just a grouping of DLCs.
But do you know what that is? It's the equivalent of what people have with the new Fight Night Champion mods. It's like skins and people excited, like something extra. Oh wow, it's crazy. Oh man, this Fight Night Champion, man.
I find it very funny when people insult Fight Night Forever, not talking about you, and they keep talking about skins as if Undisputed hasn't just been giving you skins for the last year.
Yeah, I said that was my argument. That was my argument.
Pacquiao and Emmanuel Augusta that are anywhere near unique. The rest are literally just skins. But people be like, Fight Night Forever, that's just skins. I'm like, yeah, you mean like Undisputed is? Exactly. Like 90% roster exactly the same people.
Yeah, I had that same argument. You know, well, it wasn't an argument, but I put that out there. I think we talked about that like twice this week.
Yeah.
Because people are like, Undisputed, because that's all they're gonna do. They're gonna keep adding skins because they can't really mess with the animations. They literally said if they touch the animations, it's gonna break something up. And this what a developer told me. Why do they got every boxer on the same thing? It's gonna mess up. And I said my example was when NBA 2K makes basketball players, they could tweak them and they don't break nothing. See, that's exactly what they should have did. But somebody don't know coding. It's like real basic. Anybody just came out of college. So he really didn't have no experience. You know, no disrespect to anybody because we cool. Well, I hope so. After he see this, he might take I don't know.
I don't think what the game became they originally intended. I don't think they imagined the game become as big as it was, so they didn't bother trying to get the best people for the job. That's what I think.
See,
I
that's a good perspective too. That's a
had I,
great perspective.
had they known that it would be like a Fight Night Champion level game, I think they would have went further to get better developers.
But my thing, what you're saying, I 100% agree. But why, once they sold that 1 point whatever million or 2 million, we don't know.
1.3.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, why didn't you hire developers? It's literally developers on LinkedIn that wanted to be a part. I like literally say, yo, you looking for a job? At Steel City. These guys that been in the industry for decades and decades. And it's like they maneuver around jokers. And remember they put out that rumor? Remember they put out that rumor that they had people that didn't know what they was doing in the office? That sound good, but that's not what happened. You just put that out so we could be light on you. Hey, these guys, they learning on as they go along. That was all just a scam. Thanks for putting that word out there, Lamont.
I honestly think it's their arrogance. I think if you ask them, they think they've made the best boxing game that's ever been made.
Exactly, because it sold that many. That's exactly how they're gonna take it.
Nah, I don't think so. I think I said this yesterday. I think they damn well know that the game is something's wrong because all they do is try to ban people, try to censor people. You'll never see staff. You never see Will. You never see Ash. You never see none of these guys will come on a live show and discuss it because they're not proud of the game.
Yeah. But
if they were proud of the game, they would be speaking the same way when they were doing the developer logs and the round table. They would be having that right now. They're not proud of the game.
I kind of agree with both of your take on what's going on though, but I think it got there's always gonna be we made over $800 million off this game. That's a lot of money. They almost hit the $1 billion mark. 800, because if you said, let's say everybody paid $80, just say, just using that as an example. So you sold over 1 million copies. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what kind of team they could have got with that amount of money? But no, they go buy a facility in Las Vegas.
But we don't know how much of the company they sold off to make the game and how much of the profits they get to keep. There's sometimes in order to get the movie made, you have to sell off everything so you don't end up making profit, and then you intend to make profit on the sequel. That could have been something that they did with Undisputed.
Yeah. Oh, you did your research, huh? Yeah, I was about to say that too. But Ash owned 51%. Ash and his brothers own 51% of the company. It's like they barely hold it on to the company, and that's crazy. But we don't know what kind of documentation that he got with Will, because he could make. I looked that up. Will can make him sign a contract so he can have a percentage in the company. Because there is somebody that's a stakeholder that you can't see their name. And then it's a lot of things that go into that with the money and things, but because a lot of them they like the shareholders, they love the DLC, the publishers, they love the DLC, and I'm just hoping Ash didn't sign over his creative rights to the publisher because the publisher don't care. They're a multi-billion-dollar. I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar publisher. I mean, they've been dealing with games and stuff. Let me see what they're saying in the chat. AJ, you used to love and defend this game, bro. I'm glad you seen what I was saying about the game.
Yo, Lux. The only thing I'll say is that I still believe that the combination punching is better in Undisputed, and the foot or the movement around the ring is better. Those two things.
Then you have to ask yourself, What do you prefer? Do you prefer being able to do slick foot movements but not being able to cut off the ring, or being able to cut off the sorry, being able to cut off the ring and trap people? That's the argument between Undisputed's footwork and Fight Night's footwork. Obviously, Undisputed's footwork is better visually, but in actual practicality, it's not. You can't trap anyone. People can run all fights.
It's easier to trap people in UFC 5, but it takes more skill in Undisputed.
Did I say UFC 5? I meant Fight Night Champion, sorry.
No. I'm just saying because we were talking about UFC 5 way earlier, but I'm just saying like when I think about a game where it's so easy to like cut the ring off and stuff, UFC 5 makes it really easy. I'll say that versus Undisputed.
UFC's 5 footwork is much closer to Fight Night Champions than it is Undisputed's, but I've noticed nobody complains about UFC 5's footwork.
Yeah.
Yo, let me ask you this, Oren. You said you back in the day you were playing Fight Night Champion. You were playing OCW.
OWC.
Was it OWC?
Yeah.
So you were playing with your cab and everything, right?
I did briefly. I'm more of a head-to-head kind of guy, but I did play OWC.
What did you prefer, OWC or quick fights?
Me personally, I've always been a real boxer person. I'm not particularly interested in making fake fighters sort of thing. That's not my kind of thing. But I can understand why people enjoy it.
So you play out. So then you were leaning more towards the stock fighter mode then when you played online as opposed to the OWC.
Yeah, licensed boxers is more the thing.
Okay, no, the reason I'm asking that is because one thing I found very strange about the Undisputed community, and again, this comes down to the patch notes too. I don't know why Steel City didn't say it, but they had said in the patch notes, okay, we're going to have create a boxer now, but it's only going to be on unranked mode or quick fight mode, right? But in actuality, it was in both modes. It was in rank. It was also in rank mode. But here's the thing now. You said you wasn't really an OWC guy, but the thing is, I just find it strange how a lot of people, they don't want to have the create a boxer in ranked mode when that should be the cream and butter mode of the game. The whole and this is one of the big things with OWC. So like I know I just found it strange. Like we could use it on unranked, that's fine, but you'd figure the rank mode would be you would use the cab because it'll take you closer to the online career mode or like an online RPG aspect of it, and the community rejected it. I just don't understand why.
I think they rejected it because they tried to implement it with the licensed boxers. Like, I don't want to be Muhammad Ali fighting your troll monster that you created. If you made a separate cab league just for those, like OWC was, I think it would have been successful.
They should have did that then, man. What you say makes sense, but then from Steel City, why couldn't they do it? I don't know.
There's loads of things that they should have done but didn't. Should have just looked at Fire Champion, took everything that they did right and discarded everything they did wrong. They didn't even do that.
They should have looked at every boxing game that ever would and take the best things out of it.
Yeah.
Like the referee counting you in the middle of the ring every time you knock him down. I'm like, yo, in Victorious Boxing, where you got knocked down, that's where you got up. That's crazy.
The beta, they had it. I was looking at some beta, but the beta used to be like that. I don't know why they got rid of it.
Game is now than it was.
The money to make a boxing game was a wide open field. SCI took advantage of the money was more important than the actual game improvements. I think I know this is an unpopular thing I'm about to say, but if y'all look at the timeline when things changed, they changed when Will Kinsler came in, and I hate that I introduced them.
I keep hearing people say that, but I literally have no information. Like, I don't know, so I never ever comment on Will Kinsler. He actually follows me on Twitter, so I know he sees my content as well. But I don't know what happened, so I never comment.
Yeah,
if he follows you on Twitter, then
you good. Then
if he follows you, that means.
And we was like, I knew Will for 30 to almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Telling you my
If he
leg.
has you on
Yeah.
thing, then you're being considered to be part of that inner circle.
Uh
I
I
would
oh.
should
say.
say that
Uh
I got the game. Bro, I go hard on this game, so I'm thinking, why is he even following me?
oh.
What if the,
He about to groom you. He about to groom you.
Nah, there's nothing I want from them. There's nothing they can do to me on their team.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know. Yeah, but you know, things start changing right after he came there. Because even in the Discord, he told on himself. He said, he didn't know what fight night I mean ESBC was. I'm like, that's why you came on board. What you mean you didn't know what it was? You saw exactly what everybody saw, that million views and stuff. You was probably a part of the million views. He knew
you know
what
what
it was, but he wanted
you
to
know what
make his impact on the game.
right? Well, that's the thing. When he's saying one way to look at it is when he's saying he doesn't know what it is, that was his way to say, okay, well, this game is still it's still like it hasn't been hardened yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been
It's
set
still
in
it's still
stone.
moldable.
Yeah,
That even though the fact is the game was done, if you look at some, like, I'm surprised, like, even the fact that they removed a lot of the indicators, like, okay, the
yeah,
body indicator or your head, like what's the damage level, all this weird, like, they stuff that distinguished it and made give the character versus champion, they got rid of.
yeah.
It's the
I'm
weird
pretty
thing.
sure that's why a lot of people kept feeling that he was sabotaging things, because he started. It's like it was aggressive the way that things start changing immediately. So people's like, oh, hold up, why they take this out? Why they take that out? Like they didn't. This is one thing that I know about development. When they took out the clinching and the fighting in the inside, and they said they were going to fix it, but I could tell somebody on the inside said, "No, don't waste your time on that. We'll save it for the next game." Because they just stopped. Because usually, like EA, because I know when I used to be helping EA, they fix stuff within a week. And you know the first thing somebody gonna say, yeah, they fixed something in a week. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. So everybody that's in that multi-billion-dollar company is not working on fight night. They have a certain amount of people working on the game. It's not the whole 10, like it's 100,000 workers. People be saying some crazy stuff. Let me see. Lamont said, "Yet Will K is the fault of this game point." Yeah. This and then this another thing. I don't know if you be hearing me when I be saying it. Um, People say Ash should take accountability. Yeah and no, because Ash trusts Will. He literally said it. He trusts Will. If you pay attention when he's around Will, he's looking for Will like he's looking for guidance, or
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
they did a script or something, because he always look up, and it's like Will get angry when he say certain things, or he cut him off. I seen in an interview, not that content creative, but in the when they did a round table, Will cut Ash off, and he's like, no, you can't, no, we ain't gonna give him that right now. Because I do you remember when they had the video of the guy walking around the gym?
Yeah, yeah.
They got rid of that. They got rid of that. Because that's the RPG element that Ash wanted for the game. So Ash didn't want that out the game. That was somebody telling him he's overthinking stuff. He's too over ambitious. I would have fired everybody that said that. You're too over ambitious. We can't do this. You fired. You're fired. You're fired. You go. Got to go. Because if you can't do what my vision, then I don't need you here.
Yeah. What I didn't like about Wilkins was when he came into the Discord on some sympathy, like, "Oh, why is everybody blaming me?" It's like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
of authenticity. So when things aren't authentic, that's your fault.
You see it. That's exactly. Hey, you carry that title, so you carrying that.
Exactly. Every DLC fighter that's nothing like the fighter they should be is your fault.
Yep.
Well, you know what? We still have to let's pinpoint it to something. Let's pinpoint it even further. Who is the gameplay design like the gameplay design director? The person who's in charge of the gameplay design itself.
Oh, you talking about the book writer, the guy that writes book? He don't. I don't think he
Nah,
knows.
no, it can't. Not him because
Oh,
the way his thing, he would have been more involved in like I'm gonna say the career mode and that art and
yeah.
how the RPG aspect. But I'm talking about the gameplay itself, the design of the game, the gameplay. I think that's aimbot actually.
He's the coding. Yeah, anybody's coding, but ain't the kind of person that he take orders from other people.
But who would have the would Ash still have the would he be overlooking it still to say okay this is not or this who is that
I
authority
think
figure then?
Ash don't really pay attention to this game anymore. I really don't. Because I remember one time he was saying, "This is the best game ever." He said, "You know, it's going to get better and better." And I'm like, "What are you seeing, Ash? I don't see what you seeing. I think Ash really don't play this game anymore. He probably
Yo
play when you go to these events and stuff, but I don't think he play it."
or let me ask you this. What were your impressions of the ESBC video at the time compared to what you're seeing now? Because a lot of people said that ESBC, what they showed in our prototype, is totally different than what we got now.
It's hard to comment on that because it's a video, so we're not actually playing the game. So they've obviously cherry-picked moments so it looks as good as possible. But it does look way better than what we have now. Graphically, fluidity, the combinations, how it all
Texture,
works.
if we say graphic, I'm gonna say the textures look better. It looks
Yeah.
more detailed.
The
Yeah.
animations look better too.
Yeah, they do.
But here's the thing: a lot of people say it's two different games. The more I look at it, I think it's the same game. It's just the camera angle.
No, I can't.
If
I
you
don't
notice
see
in
the same
ESBC,
thing.
it had more. It was more zoomed in. It's when they finally started going to the next. When they started introducing it as undisputed, that's when we started seeing this. The camera angle is more far out after, so you could see the entire length of the person.
No, the punches and everything was looking different in that video than what we have today.
That game is closer to early access. It's not what we had at full release because they implemented a new combination system at full release and it changed loads of punch animations and it changed the combinations that you could throw.
Yeah.
But you don't think undisputed? It came from that ESBC prototype.
I think that's like the foundations of it. I don't think it's the game
I
we got.
think that's just his own blueprint because it seemed like it just don't have that same like feel. The look don't look the same. The
You know,
feel
that
don't
what the
look,
thing is, if we say foundation, then okay, do you think? Okay, so that was the alpha, right? That was the alpha edition. Do you
yeah.
think beta was a direct? It was directly related to the alpha.
We
Or
had
it's,
like
it's two completely different games now. It wasn't even based off the alpha then.
I think the
That's-
full
that's-
release we got is nothing like the alpha, but I think the betas were closer to the alpha.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. And they were saying like a lot of people try to say that wasn't real gameplay, but from my understanding in the from listening to the content creators, that was real gameplay. That's what they were playing, and there was some stuff they couldn't even tell us that they saw. So it's like it was more realistic than what we ever would have thought of. So
Yeah, I think it's best to ask those content creators that got to go to the studio and play the game before it was finished. They would be the people to ask.
Yeah, but those NDAs they signed.
yeah, some stuff
When
they
they
not
got
gonna
there,
say, especially if it make us look good. No, yeah, man. Yo, Oren, I appreciate you coming on, man.
no, it's I actually like the show. I watch the show every day. I tell you this all the time. I'm not
Yeah.
always
I don't
live.
believe you. Sometimes I'll be like, man, he just saying that. He just being
I
nice.
promise you, I watch every show. If I'm not watching live, if I'm at work, I'll watch it after the stream is finished. I watch every episode. I watch almost all the content based on Undisputed, just so I know what's going on in the community.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get more people to come on here. I'm like trying to have like full blast round table type stuff. There's a lot of people that they don't see that having something like this, you could actually be heard. Because look, we had 73 people that viewed this show. You know, it
Yeah.
got to be people that it could be somebody in the industry, which they say, like on LinkedIn, a couple of developers said they'd be watching the show.
Yo, what's the name of that content guy who had dropped the video that explained why the punches are missing in Undisputed? What's his name? Fight Night Finest, or is it
I game
Cold?
what?
No, I'm Cold Blooded. I'm Cold Blooded. That video where he showed the back end of Unreal and how and the solution. Then how much do you think? How did you I'm pretty sure you saw that video, right?
I saw it, yeah.
You saw it, right? The one where he showed the back end of Unreal and the physics. There's a little tick that you put on, and this will give you it'll be able to create the same physics on both on the host and on the client.
Yeah.
Okay. How much you think that was fact and fiction in terms of what he's saying is wrong with Undisputed?
Well, I think people try to educate themselves and then they believe that they have knowledge as if they are an actual game developer. Unless you're an actual game developer, I don't think you know. So you've got claimers saying that there's no such thing as ragdoll physics in real life. That's just a lie. And then he's saying if you turn this on, you'll get the same things on the same screens. So I don't actually know, to be honest with you.
I took that with a grain of salt too. I was like, he must be talking about the hybrid version then.
Well, my thing with that I'm Cold Blooded videos, I always come back to this. Okay, well, that could be one solution, but here's the thing. Are you telling me that if Undisputed didn't, so we're basically saying that that if they were there, if Undisputed Steel City was to invest in dedicated servers for Unity, it wouldn't fix the problem?
Dedicated servers would definitely help, wouldn't they? Like, I think we all agree on that. But
it would mitigate for sure.
yeah.
It would redo it because just like any multiplayer game, there's always going to be a desync, but not to the level we're seeing right now because of this peer-to-peer protocol we're using.
Yeah, for sure. It's all tied into how good your flipping internet runs, isn't it? So if your internet is trash, if your internet is trash and my internet is good, we're not gonna have a good game, are we? The server mitigates that.
Yeah. If anything, is the host. If we're talking about peer-to-peer, the host will have the advantage anyways.
Yeah.
In most cases, they'll get the advantage.
Yeah, but with the dedicated, this is what we got to keep in account too. When like major AAA companies get dedicated servers, they're paying millions of dollars a year for them servers, and that's what I think Steel City didn't want.
Well, if you're gonna mark AAA game, you have to go all out like it is a AAA game.
Yeah, that's true. Because when he bought that facility, I said, man, they got the money. They got the money. But I don't know. Steel City, I'm like, even when I look, see, I don't know if you got access to LinkedIn. You look at the list of developers, and you be like, why do they got this guy? They need this guy and that guy. I can look through the whole list and tell them who they need. Like everybody for the office, like Ash got an actual servant. I don't know what y'all call them over there, like the person that walk around with the umbrella almost. Assistant, he have an assistant. For what? What you need an assistant for? You need an assistant to fix the game.
I do actually think that Undisputed 2 will be a great game, though. I think they will learn from. Yeah, I think if it's not, their company is dead. It dies.
What year?
Yeah.
What year is it going to be released?
It all depends on when they've started.
Yeah.
2027 earliest, maybe 2028 latest.
Dad. I can't see them lasting. I can't see them lasting that long with content and stuff. That's a long time to be waiting. Dad.
But don't you guys find it strange? Like based on history, anytime a game is successful, right away they'll make an announcement within within a certain reasonable time. Okay, guess what? The next we're working on another one. It's coming out. It's coming out
Yeah,
soon because we sold X amount of million, but we're not hearing anything. Everything is speculation.
yeah, because they couldn't hold that back. They alluded to it. They said it. It's like it wasn't really no speculation because they literally said that they making Undisputed 2. The developers, and I think Ash mentioned it. Did he? I know
I
the developers did.
I think it's too early for them to say that because it would be as if they've given up on this game, and the game is
Yeah,
only 1 year old, and they've just released a championship edition. You can't, after 2 months of releasing the championship edition, be like, "Yeah, we're not updating the game anymore." You just got a whole bunch of new players that bought the game.
that's true. I don't see how the heck they still sold the game. Because I know them Christmas, they got sales for Christmas. So I'm like,
Yo,
dang,
I have a feeling that when Undisputed 2 comes out, it's going to be exactly what we have now, but with dedicated servers and maybe a little refinement to the career mode, and that's it. It's going to be essentially, I want to say it's an incremental update, but I don't think it's going to be a game changer
that.
because I
Uh,
don't hear them talking it. I don't hear anybody from Steel City like I'm not hearing them talk the vision anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not hearing no excitement. I'm not hearing nothing. Everything seems like this is it.
Yeah, it do sound like there's a dead, like you're going to a funeral. They don't like really talk. Jay Shep, he pop in and pop out. I'm like, yo, what type of junk's going on? What are they doing? So I don't know. Everything's marketing now. Now they marketing different boxes. They're gonna the walkout and stuff like that. That's stuff that you should have been, you know, put out there. It's like they're just doing a lot of just
they
fillers. Everything's filler time fillers.
You know what's gonna mess up this game? A good chance it'll mess up the game. So right now, Undisputed is using Steel City is using the excuse about okay, well, when they moved it from Unity on the PC and now they moved it to the consoles, well, it couldn't translate properly. The consoles are too weak, which I think is a lie because when I looked at there's it's basically there's so much marketing information about the tools that exist for Unity on PS5. It's so compatible. There's so many things you could do with it. So I don't know, like I don't know, I don't know what happened when they tried to move it. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because right now we're in this whole new hardware. There's this trend right now to bring handhelds now.
yeah.
And originally, like, and when I say we're talking about handhelds now that are they're really they're hybrid. They're handhelds that you connect to your TV, you connect to your monitor now, and you're playing these games now. It's not like a Game Boy anymore. You know what I mean? That
Mhm.
started with the Nintendo Switch. They're the first one to bring that out to the market. Now we have Switch 2. Now, but before Switch, then we had the Steam Deck. Then we
Yeah.
have Ali, what's it called? Ali, the Xbox one, Ali Rogue or something, right? And then we have Lenovo Legions. They came out with their handheld system, but my point is this: all those handheld systems, you could connect it to your TV, whatever, and go full screen after, right? But the thing is, the resolution on those machines are what? I think the Nintendo Switch is the only one I got up to 1440p. The rest of them are 1200 and lower, right?
Mm.
So what's gonna happen is this: that what happens when you go and you dock it to show on your big screen to get 4K, it's doing a bunch of AI upscaling.
Yep.
So if it's doing all that AI upscaling, you come out Undisputed 2. Well, if Undisputed 2 comes out for the PS5, can it handle that? Because I already figured they want the game to probably work on all platforms, especially now that we're having this breakout with all these Steam Decks and Allies and stuff, right? Is that going to be a future issue in terms of them using it as excuse? Oh, we can't do it for everything, or we're going to
I
have to dumb down the full console version, so we can play on the mobile versions,
I
the mobile
think that
hardware.
the mistake that you don't build the game to run at its best state on PC when you want to be selling to consoles. So I think they will dumb the game down so it runs best on consoles and things like the handhelds, personally. Because the
But then it,
PC for this game is so small anyway.
Yeah.
but if that's the case, then doesn't that mean that history is going to repeat itself?
But I not necessarily, because they're going to be starting from the very beginning and doing all the steps correctly.
Hopefully, because
Oh,
if they're gonna merge it over, because that's what a lot of people think they're gonna just take that model and implement it into the, and that's a bad thing. Instead of going, we're gonna do it from scratch.
If they try to port it, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, port. Yeah, that's the word I was
Because they're gonna get the snowball. All the shitty coding is gonna get ported over. So I don't know, but I don't know exactly which assets they're gonna port.
I don't think they can do that because Ash literally said we have to build from beginning for it to work.
If that's the case, that's a 3-4 year project then.
But that's why he said that, because the game is jacked up. So and so you can do that, but the way that system is set up, you can't port it.
So here's the thing: if they're going, so with Undisputed 2, I think it's a safe bet to say they're gonna stay with motion capture.
I don't know. I don't work there, but I think that would be a mistake on their end when they can just do that AI system that captures athlete.
Procedural. I'm glad y'all be listening, man. I'm glad y'all be listening.
Well, there's procedural, but then also too, there's the what Claimer Uncut's doing. He's using what did he call his system? He's not using motion cap.
I don't know.
He's not using motion cap, and the reason why he says because the game will be more. It would be what's the word?
But
there will be less delays in the game.
But is he just selling us his product, or is it truth to that?
But he's claiming
and I
don't know.
I respect him with his hustle if that's the case, but I don't know. From my information, people are saying, "Hold up, why you say that motion caption don't work?" It's up to the animators to fix any broken things that the motion capture didn't do. The animators. A lot of people forget the animators are very important. Let me see.
Well, if Claimer Cut is if he proves his point when that game gets released, I think that's gonna change the it might change every boxing game that comes out after.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's definitely.
That's what I like about these guys. Like these guys that's trying to make games, they actually doing some things that you could kind of say revolutionary that they implemented. And I was like, even though Love C Shorty, a lot of people look at his game as it's not really that well for me to but he does a lot of things in there that a major company can take notice about.
Yeah, he has loads of systems in his game that are revolutionary, as you said. The only thing I don't like about his game is that they don't auto lock on each other, and like you can rotate around them, so you're literally like looking at his back. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Now you woke up something.
But that's the problem with Undisputed.
Yeah,
Undisputed has the auto lock.
Yeah, but with games like Victorious Boxers, they don't auto lock. That's one of our biggest arguments in the Fight Night forums. And I had to like literally break it down, or like tell these people like, yo, it's up to you. Because if you throw certain punches and you not facing the right way, that's realistic because you're not in the right place because you threw the punch too wide or did certain things. But it should be an option.
I just think it should be mitigated. I don't think you should be able to fully rotate so you're completely behind them. It looks janky in a game. It doesn't translate well.
Okay.
I don't think you move to like 35, 45-degree angles, and they cut it there.
Oh, what's called Blast X said there's a slider in Bloody Knuckles. You can adjust the alignment. See, that's what I was talking about with the
Well,
sliders or something.
or all you have to do, in general, you just have to have a button that you can hit to recenter yourself right away. That's a common thing too. You see in a lot of first-person shooters.
Yeah, yeah,
That makes sense. I can get with that,
that's
but
a
I
good
know,
idea.
yeah, it is.
Because the moment you put that on lock, you can't create that. You cannot create really. You can't create enough angles. Then we'll say,
Yeah.
like in beta, you could create more angles. But the only thing is, just like what Owen was saying, eventually what will happen is you might end up behind the guy, and then the game fucks up after.
Yeah, but that goes back with the coding. If they did all that right, it won't mess up. Because this what people say, man, it's gonna mess up any game, anybody do it. No, because you got wrestlers and you got basketball players. It's a lot of people on that court. I knew something was wrong when they couldn't put the referee in the ring. I know it was two reasons they didn't put it in, because they didn't want to, and then they kept saying it was messing up the game, which I really don't. I think it just was an option that they didn't want the game. They wanted the action to stay constantly going. And
Yeah, that.
Yo,
What'd you say?
While I don't actually care if the ref is in the ring, it should 100% be in the ring. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense, there should be no excuse for the ref not being in the ring, but it doesn't make a difference to me.
Okay. Yeah, because people don't like. I was trying to explain to people. Actually, with some fighters, the referee is a strategy, because they want the referee to, like, you clinch. Referee gonna let you reset. You reset yourself. You get some air in your lungs. You know, I'm talking real boxing, but you get air in your lungs, and you're able to like recalibrate yourself.
That's an area where they could have revolutionized the game. They could have made the ref an actual part of the game, so you could have a ref that's more lenient or a ref that's more strict.
Yeah.
How many knockouts you can get before you get a TKO? How long he
Yeah.
will let you fight in?
See,
we're,
you
we're talking.
thinking like me.
We're talking about the TKO. Oren? What do you think of the current TKO system?
Good question.
There is a TKO system in Undisputed.
Yes. Well,
Good.
there's one, but it's garbage. But not garbage. It's
What should
limited.
it look like? What should it look like?
This is how I want it to be in the game. You know, if you play this game, sometimes you can get knocked down, and when you get up, you're still dazed, right?
Yeah.
What it should be, you get knocked down, you get up, you're still dazed, you run over. If you empty their health bar, the ref steps in, and then that's a TKO. That's the way they could implement.
Right. And so I agree. Anything where you could have a TKO, the referee decides you can't defend yourself. I
Yeah.
agree with those TKO, like a TKO, like a referee stoppage. But
Yeah.
Undisputed, they're so friggin'. All they're doing is TKO based on cuts, and
Yeah.
it's a doctor stoppage. We have doctor stoppages in Undisputed. We don't have a proper TKO.
Yeah.
Because the
And
referee logic can go ahead.
they're extremely difficult to achieve. I don't remember the last time I had a fight stopped on a cut or swelling.
Yeah.
In Undisputed,
Yeah. Been a long.
if I use my creative boxer, I'll get it because my creative boxer only 85, so there's certain things I couldn't really put on. So I'll get in that respect, I'll get a lot of swelling and stuff. But
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Does it even work in it, or is this still toned down?
What do you mean?
From
You
what
see,
we
well, his
read?
eyes closes eventually.
But
Well,
even that been a good idea. They could have had it. Your eye swells, your accuracy goes down, the damage you
Yeah.
take increases.
yeah,
Stuff like
They didn't do that.
yeah. See now we.
But here's the thing: a lot of people haven't discovered yet. But Fight Night Champion, Revival, and the other one, it has a proper TKO. You could have a referee stoppage like based on accumulation. Like you can't defend yourself. They had that in Champion, man, and that's from what 2012. They had that. I don't know how Undisputed missed that.
It's a lot of stuff they missed. They just they didn't care at some point. It's my thing is they could have made a boxing game just looking at YouTube videos. Why wasn't they doing what you call it sitting down watching film studies? Why they haven't been doing that? That shows that this team really doesn't care about the product that they supposed to be making. Y'all remember the logo made by boxing fans for boxing fans? I say,
Yeah, that's a lie.
I'm like, where at? Because Westcom told us immediately. What's his name? Aimbot. He said he's not a boxing fan.
Yeah, those guys aren't boxing fans. They have the push in the game. You can push as many times as you want without getting told off by the ref.
Yeah, that even in the fight night games, I remember you push too many times. Referee say something or take a point or something like that.
Yeah, you got warning eventually.
Yeah.
But that pisses me off that we don't have like a proper TKO stoppage in this game. Because it would solve a lot of problems too. Like a lot of times when
it makes you box.
guys are running and they don't want to engage, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
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 It's also frustrating on Undisputed. It takes a lot of knockdowns to KO somebody. You can get like 6 or 7 knockdowns. If they're a team.
That's arcadish than them all.
I now remember, Oren, so I remember I was going to ask you, what is your thoughts on, for months now, everybody started, I call it Mario Kart logic.
Yeah.
But everyone's saying when you get down to the 7 and 8, if you're beating this guy down and you're winning on the card, suddenly it seems like the game will tilt. Another guy will get that. He'll get the flash KO to the head or mostly to the body, I'll say, right? But he'll get the flash KO and the match is done. What do you think? Have you been experiencing that?
In my experience, I don't think the fights are scripted like that. What's happening? You're now your stamina is now low enough that you're triggering the high rate of flash knockdowns happening. And so when you're like throwing a 3-piece combination and you get caught, it's more likely to happen because you're more tired in those later rounds and you've taken more damage.
No, but it's the opposite. What I'm saying, the scenario everyone's saying is that player 1 has won the first 6 rounds, and he's outlanded player number 2. But then, and player number 2, let's just say player number 2 is stamina bars next to nothing too. He's been getting beat up, right? Everything is drained, but player number 2 in that 7 or 8 rounds, he's able to land out one shot and knock you out completely.
It's so nuanced. Does the player that's winning the fight, does he still have a lot of stamina, or is his stamina low as well? Or
we don't know.
What tends to happen is when you get your opponent into flat foot, they now start running away, blocking the whole time. They wait until you're like 4 or 5 punches into your combination, then they throw a power shot to trigger the flash knockdown happening. So I don't think it's scripted. I think they're just abusing the system how it works.
So no Mario Kart logic, or the other way I painted it was like in all the EA Sports games, that last minute of the game, anything could happen, and that's how they program in EA, because they want that excitement factor.
But it's not random, because random is from
random is that was the argument we're having about what was random.
Random is like you can knock somebody out in the first second that's randomness. You just random went over there and hit them. And then this what we got to take into account. I hear a lot of people say, but how about the boxer's strength and stuff like that? Like people like Tyson and Foreman, they carry their punching power late rounds. There's a lot of boxers that they can knock you out in the late rounds. Even if they hurt, they're gonna knock you out. Who was that I was arguing with? They said if you hurt and you're stagnant, you still shouldn't be able to knock out a person. It happens all the time. They say the most dangerous animal, we use that for boxing, the most dangerous animal is a wounded animal. Now, if the Joker coward, that's something totally different. But like one of them elite boxers, they're dangerous even when they're hurt.
It would just
good.
It would just depend on how they are, if they're stumbling all over the place or if they're just slightly buzzed.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if you are like stumbling over the place, maybe your power doesn't go down, but your accuracy does, or something like that.
Yeah, see, now you're talking, now you're cooking. That's what I'm talking about. See you cooking.
I think my whole thing with the whole when they were saying it's random, I just can't see why would they make a boxing game and have that and make it like a wild card punch.
RNG is
Or you-
definitely in, bro. That's a fact. Like you play UFC, so like in UFC, 1+1 = 2 every time, and by that I mean if you dip down and I throw uppercut, it's gonna rock you or do max damage every time. If you slip to the right and I kick you with the hook, it's gonna rock you or do max damage every time. If you're in this certain animation and I catch you, it will flatline you every time. In Undisputed, it's random. I can do the same thing again and again, and it will trigger a KO by chance. I can't replicate it.
and the other guy that you his health, like you weren't like beating him for 6 rounds straight. It just randomly happened.
It happens every single, like, can you run a game and then do the same thing and get the same result every single time on this game?
That's the thing. Nobody's able to prove it. Nobody yet in the undisputed community can come up with like drop an example or scenario and then enact it after and improve